Say it again.
No, this is true. There are good men that are good fathers. They're not good husbands. And there are women who are great mothers.
true.
They're not great wives. Because the reality of all things is, in order to be a good wife or a good husband, you have to go in with the mindset that I'm in this forever.
Right, I'm gonna make it work.
I'm gonna make it work.
Right.
Welcome to the Don't Let That Go Over Your Head podcast, starring Q the Boss.
Yo. Welcome back to another episode of Don't Let That Go Over Your Head podcast. They call me Q the Boss. Oh, man.
Why is there always a pause before?
Because you know
Why?
it needs to be one.
Why?
My special co-host,
Hi, guys. Happy Sunday.
Shay, is in the building.
Happy Sunday, everyone.
But guys, you know I like special people, and anytime I bring someone up here is because I extremely respect them.
Yes.
This lady to my right is a very special woman to me. She is a sister to me. She is very knowledgeable, very, very strong, very, very everything that you could imagine. She's gonna bring a lot of great content to this platform today. We call her Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Jones. Stephanie is in the building, guys. Listen, we gonna have some fun. How you feeling, Steph?
I'm feeling great. I'm
Steph,
feeling
your last
great.
name is Jones? You got the same last name.
Yep.
Yeah.
Stephanie and Shay Jones.
And her name starts with an S too, so SJ.
All day.
Beautiful Shay in the building.
That's Ike.
I know what it is. I like that though. That's big. But
don't
listen,
count.
today, guys, the episode is called The Math Ain't Mathin'. When y'all hear this, what do y'all both hear? I'm gonna let you go first, Mrs. Jones. Oh, I forgot. Miss Jones. 6'7"?
To the right. Yeah, that's 6'7".
What do you think when you hear the math ain't mathin'? What do you hear when you hear that?
The math ain't mathing
Yeah.
in terms of relationship wise.
Or just life?
I guess we'll go with relationship wise. Maybe somebody's not bringing something to the table.
Okay. I like that. What do you got?
I think same, like things aren't adding up. Like, why are we getting this results? The math ain't mathing, something ain't right.
You know what we're gonna do for a while? Today we're gonna talk about men. We're gonna talk heavy on men. What do y'all think is the problem with men these days? I wanna hear your opinion. What do y'all think?
What?
What do you think is wrong with men these days?
Go ahead, Steph. I was away.
Me first. I have a lot of experience
Okay.
on the subject.
That's why you're here. Just so you know that.
I think that they just don't make men like they used to.
Yes.
I think that a lot of social media and a lot of outside influences have men a little
Sassy.
sassy, a little spicy. I think that a lot of men feel like women are supposed to take care of them.
Yep.
And that goes the other way too. I think women feel like men are supposed to take care of them. So there's a disconnect.
I agree. What do you think that come from though? Like where does that, those kind of men, because at one point men were like more masculine, they were more manly, right? Being a man or being a leader is being responsible if your family's losing, taking account for it. I feel like more now men, they tuck their tail, they run, and then they point the finger at their woman, which I never grew up seeing men do that. But now I see more so men will blame women for the aesthetics of their home. And I'm like, if your home is failing as a man, as a leader, that says more about you as a man than it says about the woman.
I agree.
I do believe if your house is dirty as hell, I'm looking at the woman. But I do believe if your house is suffering financially, I'm definitely looking at the man. I'm not sitting here and saying a woman shouldn't help you, but I'm definitely believing a man should be the leader of trying to get that train on the road, getting everything chugging. How do y'all feel about that?
I think a lot of men are looking for mothers in their relationships. I don't feel like some men, I'm not going to say a lot, I think some men are looking for their women to coddle them, to raise them.
Okay.
And that's why I always say women are looking for partners, not projects. Like, I don't think it's our job to build a man. I can think we can support our men and we can inspire them and motivate them and vice versa. But I don't think that if you can't come to me whole, don't come to me half and expect me to make a whole out of you. I think a lot of men, besides absent fathers, I think they have mothers that overcoddle. And when you have a mother that is raising a son to feel like it's a woman's job to do this, it's a woman's job to do that, he goes into a relationship with those expectations, thinking that his woman is his mother. And that's where I feel like sometimes we have a disconnect and the math ain't mathing
I like that. I like that. What you got?
for me.
I agree. I agree 100% with what you're saying. Also, it's a generation thing as well. You know, it's I'm 55. I'm going to be 55. So I grew up, you know, I'm a 70s baby.
Yeah.
You know, I grew up in a 2-parent household.
Yes.
You know, my father was a father. He
They
was
still
a
together
husband.
now, right?
They've been together almost 60 years.
Wow.
You know, our families had their ups and downs, but my father made sure that his family stayed together.
Yes.
And that my mother wanted for nothing.
Yes.
But my mother was also a strong woman who got out there and taught her children how to work and
Yes.
hustle and get it.
Yes.
So, you know, we all were brought up with the knowledge that to be a good partner, you need to be able to do X, Y, and Z and A, B, and C.
100%.
You know?
Just someone Vanessa said you don't look 55. I just want to say that. And that's the conversation. You don't look 55. But I gotta say this. I gotta ask you a question. I want to ask both of you a question, but I want to start with you. I know down that you see that you grew up with a father, right? And your father was a man, right? Mm-hmm. When you meet females and you meet men, the ones that didn't grow up with that aesthetics, what do you see different between the two situations as far as their behavior now in life, or what you've noticed?
I noticed like men that haven't grown up in a 2-family household or their mother raised them, they're looking more for somebody to mother them. They're looking more for someone to take care of them because that mother might have spoiled that son.
Yes.
You know, did everything for that son, and there was no balance there. That's the importance of
Yes.
having a 2-parent household. Even if, you know, you don't have, say, you know, you're in a relationship, it doesn't work out, you split up. The job of a parent is to make sure that the child is balanced at all times.
Yes.
I feel like
Yes.
a lot of times women weaponize their children, and that's just from experiences that I know firsthand, and they don't allow a father to be in the child's life to give them that balance. So then when that kid grows up, he's looking for a woman to be his mother. And that's where the math ain't mathing.
Wow, I like that. And what do you see aesthetically from I say a man? Let's start with a man not having a father in his house. So what do you see happening a lot?
I see the same thing that she said. Like I said before, it's looking for a woman to build them up, to be their mother-like, you know what I mean? I think someone said something before, mothers are nurturers. It's one thing to be supportive. It's another thing it's not my job, you know what I mean? Because as women, sometimes we need a little building too. We need a little push too. So if I got to take care of the household, take care of the kids, and take care of you, who's taking care of me? You know what I mean? Like we want just a whole man. We want to submit. We want to allow our men to lead, but a lot of these men are not leaders. So a woman ends up taking on the role. Like I said, she wearing a waist trainer and construction boots and her construction hat and her bra. It's like we just got to take on so many roles because there are some men that just are not qualified to lead. And there's no way that I'm going to submit to you if I don't feel like there's something for me to submit to. I'm not I'm not following a blind man.
100%. 100%. You know what I say that most black households are single parents, right? So the fact that we have so many black households, I do believe that we should raise the awareness, being that it's a constant problem. It's not going to change overnight, right? Where fathers just going to magically appear in houses. So again, we have to deal with the aesthetics of what's going on. And the problem is we got to show women, even if you are a single mother, you don't have to coddle. You don't have to date your son. You don't have to make him feel like he's entitled or he's the king of a castle he's never provided or done anything to establish. I do meet a lot of times, I meet women, they overly teach this young man to feel like he is something beyond what he actually is, and he hasn't done anything to warrant his level of walking around as someone. Who is that? Why are you asking your mother, who is that? What we eating tonight? Why are you even asking those questions as if you're paying for it? Those privileges come from when you meet certain level of requirements. I do believe that. Sometimes, mothers, they feel empathetic because it's like, damn, his dad is not there. So they feel a little guilty in a sense, like, they trying to, but they actually hurting them. They overcompensate and they're hurting them, What do you think? What do you guys think?
I think that's very true. Like I was just thinking about the movie Boys in the Hood, that's one of my favorite movies, and I love the fact that once, you know, I forgot what the boy's name was in the movie, but once he got to a certain age,
Yes.
Angela Bassett said, "Listen, you need to go
Yes.
with your father." As much as she wanted to keep him, she knew that it takes a man to raise a man.
Yes.
And the relationship that the two of them had,
Yes.
the mother and father, is the example of the relationship that people should try to have with their exes. Because
100%.
you have to, in order for the child to be balanced out, they need both energies. They need the mother and the father. So when the kid is not doing right, you can always say, "I'm gonna call your father."
100%.
Calling your father right now, and the child will know to straighten up, because that father is going to be that presence. A
Yes.
father's presence is always supposed to be an authority.
Yes.
I agree.
Yes. Yes. I think that we've been raised by people that are not happy, and you know they complain about their circumstance, so therefore they teach the children to hate their circumstance. I think children inherit some of their parents' problems. Like for instance, let's say your dad wasn't a good father, your son more than likely learned how to not be a good father. Or let's say your mother was mad at men, your daughter might take on that same anger towards men because of the fact that why she always heard that men ain't this, men ain't that, men ain't this, men ain't that. Over time of hearing that, you play like a record back to the point where she can sing it with her eyes closed. So therefore it becomes her feeling, even though she doesn't have the experience. So I do see that a lot of times people take on experiences they never experienced because they've heard it so much. You know, you ever heard like your parents tell you a story and you're like, you don't remember the story, but you kind of remember it because you heard it so much, but you really don't remember the story, but they keep saying it so much. You know, it's the same thing as watching a movie. You can dictate everything that's gonna happen.
Right.
Like that's gonna happen next, that's gonna happen next, that's gonna happen next. So I do believe that when talking to our children, you have to be mindful that you have a very impressionable mind. And having an impressionable mind sitting in front of you, you should be conscious of what you're saying and what you're not saying to this person. Because again, you're creating a human who's going to go into society, and a lot of times they take on certain energies. I met 13-year-old girls or 14-year-old boys who talk about how they just want sex from a girl, they want a relationship. They don't want marriage because they might have been told by somebody they don't want marriage. They don't even know what it really entails. Or you have a young woman who says, "I'm gonna just get a man for his bag because men ain't SHIT." And I'm like, what would you know about that when you never experienced anything?
Yeah.
Like, how do you know, like, why do you feel that way? When it's supposed to be so much innocence there, you know?
And I think also children learn a lot by how they see their parents treat each other.
Yes.
Like I think, you know, he's going to know how to treat a woman by how he sees his father treats his mother or talk, and vice versa.
Yes.
A daughter will know how to treat a man by how she sees her mother treating the dad.
Yes.
I think that when we lack one of those parents in the household, it takes away from that. Like, and I think, you know, sometimes we talk about the moms not being accountable, but what about some of these dads that just completely walk away from their responsibility? You can't force a man to be there if he doesn't want to be there.
I agree.
So I don't think sometimes women always foresee this. I do know, yes, sometimes we do see red flags, ladies, and we ignore it, but not all the time. I think sometimes, you know, the devil comes in different forms, and sometimes men just aren't ready for that responsibility and they walk away from it. So then if so be the case, then what do you do now? Because now you have this whole boy here that you're trying to raise with no father.
Yes.
So what are you outsourcing? You know what I mean? Now you look to, sometimes that's how I feel like men or boys end up going to the streets, because the mother still has to work. She still has responsibilities that she has to take care of, and she's still raising a man, you know?
You know, the other day, I was having a conversation with one of my boys, and I said to him, it's amazing that we as black people, we have to fight for our rights in this country, right? And I would honestly say being a man is one of the hardest fights, because we're looked at as a threat, right? In most cases, a woman is not looked at as a threat. A man is looked at as a threat, especially an educated black man that knows who he is. He's looked at as a threat. So when you're able to remove the person that's gonna create the foundation and the structure, it's easy to foresee that your children either A, will be very promiscuous because your daughter's looking for the love that she didn't receive, and then vice versa, the son is looking for coddling because he didn't understand the structure of how I'm supposed to behave as a man. So a lot of times we're fighting with what people weren't taught. So then we like, you know what, you're grown. Grown don't mean by age. Grown mean by actions and teaching. Because grown is a teaching. Every year is an advancement, right? When you have your birthday, you're supposed to want to level up with your maturity. Understanding that this is a bigger age, is a new responsibility would come with this age.
Right.
But again, if I didn't teach my son how to make his own bed, how do I expect my son to carry a household? You know?
Yeah.
What you got, Steph?
It's hard. I feel like, you know what, it all comes down to just what we're teaching is what our kids emulate, you know, and what they see. It's just like that old saying when we were growing up, children live what they learn and children learn what they live.
Yes.
You know, I grew up in a household where my dad was in and out of prison. And it wasn't until I was a teenager that my dad, you know, stopped going to prison. By then I was living with my mom, who was a single mom, raising 2 kids. And I didn't really have a father figure, you know, for a long time. When my dad was there, he was there.
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe then I started looking to relationships when I first started dating.
Happens.
And it made me like, I don't know if the word is soften up or submit a little faster, because I felt like I wanted that love, if that makes sense. And I felt like I looked for it when I was younger in the guys that I dated. It was like, I just like gravitated to them and latched onto them immediately, because it just felt like I didn't have that. You know, my dad was gone for so many years. And I just, it wasn't until years later that I realized that I was searching for something in the wrong person. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I feel like it just all stems from younger. And you said it, Q, like in our community, it just seems like we just don't have a lot of 2-family households anymore.
Yes, yes.
So there are many women like me, or many little girls like me. There are a lot of little Shays, there are a lot of little Qs, there are a lot of
100%.
little Stephanie. Well, no, because you grew up in a 2-family household.
Still,
But if you did it, you know.
created certain aesthetics.
But you know what
Yeah.
else? You know, there's
Thank you,
not.
preacher.
I feel like there's no foundation.
100%.
Yeah.
Like we grew up and we went to church
Yep.
every
Sunday.
Right.
week without fail. I
Yep.
grew up 7-day Adventist, so I went to church on Saturdays, and that was the worst because I couldn't watch Saturday morning cartoons. I couldn't play with my friends till the sun went down. It was crazy, but
Yes.
I thank God for that foundation because it taught us right from wrong.
Yes.
We definitely had a super village in my church. We went to church in Queens, and my church was predominantly West Indian, so I grew up around a lot of West Indian women, Jamaican, Trinidadian women, and they were all very, very strict, and that was like our village. So, you know, even sometimes I would cut out of school and I'd be in Queens and I'd see sister so-and-so on the corner,
Yes.
and like, okay, my mother was getting that phone call. So it's like we don't have that kind of village anymore where nobody's looking out for the kids. First of all, the parents don't even want you to say anything to their kids.
Truth.
So you can't even correct a child when you see them doing wrong. And that's crazy to me.
Yes.
Parents be ready to fight.
Yes.
But you know why? Because they're fighting for the person that they felt should have protected them. Like, for instance, a lot of times as parents, what we don't understand is we don't teach the children the things we learn late. What we do is we try to give them the things that we never had. And by giving this child the things that we never had, you create something called entitlement. A lot of these young people that you see, they're very entitled. So you're talking to the parent who didn't have, but then your child you over spoiled, and then you see the repercussions of them not having their own belief in getting their own. So now it's like, damn, my mother got a car, I got a car. My mother got a house, I got a house. The one thing I love about my mom always said, this is my house. Even if I told a friend to come over, I said, yo, come over, meet me at my mom's house. I never ever said, come to my house. Because my mom made sure I knew that wasn't my house. And at any given time, if I don't follow the rules, I could be evicted. She always made that known to me. So therefore, I never really had that belief like, this is my house, right? But I do believe that you talk to young people, and I do believe that, you know, they should feel like they're welcome there, but understand that there's rules and regulations here. But I do believe that kids overstep their boundaries because they feel like it's already theirs.
Right.
They don't understand that it can be removed from you.
They don't know. They can't put the work in.
Yes.
They
Yes.
want everything to come to them.
Yes.
They don't want to go out there and put the work in. Like
Yes.
we've all, you know, I know for myself, I've been working since I was 13 years old, like consecutively. So hard work is nothing new to me. It's nothing new to me. You
Yes.
ask these kids to get a job and they're like, what? You know, I worked at Burger King was my first job, you know? So, and I wore a uniform. Like you ask a kid now to go and get a job at McDonald's or Burger King, they looking at you like you crazy.
Yeah, but I think some of that, guys, as parents, we have to take accountability for that, because I think sometimes you have parents that overcompensate for one absent parent, or they just overgive to the kids, and that creates an entitled child. I don't think a child just wakes up and they just become entitled. I think when you have, because there are a lot of kids that
50-50.
will want to hustle, will want to work, will, you know, whatever it is that they need to do to buy that new game or get those new sneakers, and then you have those kids that are like, I'm not doing that. Work at what, McDonald's?
But you could be
and
teaching your
social
child to do
media
that, though.
too.
That's
So,
exactly
yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
It's we have the streets, we have the household opinion,
Right.
but now they also have the virtual streets.
Right.
So that's what we can account for, that these children are dealing with so many more scrutiny than ever. Initially, it would be their immediate environment.
Right.
Now, the environment has gotten so broadened. For instance, you'll see somebody comment on your post. That person could be from New Zealand. That person could literally talk crazy about you, don't know you from a whole different part of the world. So we have to equate that fact that they are exposed to a lot more judgment opposed that we are, or were rather, because of social media.
Yeah.
And again, I do believe that people should keep their children off it as long as possible until
Yeah.
they're able to build that level of confidence where they're not worried so much about people's opinion. You can look at your child and see how they dress, how they act, how they behave, if they're overly into other people's opinion. One of the reasons why I told my boy to put his kid in a charter school, and a charter school is free, just so you guys know that, right? Private school is different. But he put his kid in a charter school because they had a uniform. I said, your child is too overwhelmed with how he looks every day, to the point where it's distracting him from being great in school. I said, I think personally, you should look for a charter school. I said, where they have a uniform. I said, so your child can get that off his mind. His son went from a D student in regular school, like public school, to an A student in charter school, because you remove, he has to wear Jordans every day. Now
Right.
he's wearing penny loafers. Everyone looks the same.
Everybody looks the same.
The only thing you can look different is if you didn't cut your hair.
Yeah.
You know? So, but like I said, this is what I think that we need to get back to, is understanding, like, there is a lot of insecurities. There are parents who've taught their children how to be insecure. And I'll tell you how, is because if your parents was the kind of parent that felt like there wasn't nothing without luxury items, your child is more likely to be materialistic, because of the fact that why? They were taught by a materialistic person how to be materialistic. So they don't feel special unless they have on something special. One of my boys the other day, he bought his son a whole Burberry outfit, and he had to be, his son was probably like maybe 10. I said, bro, won't you buy some stocks? He goes, no, you know, my son got to be fly on his birthday. I said, now you teaching a mentality that every time his birthday comes, he has to go spend a significant amount of money to look like he's wealthy. And I said, that you're dressing up struggle, and
Bro,
it's not healthy.
We were just talking about prom,
Yes.
how prom has become insane in the dresses
Yes.
and the over everything that everyone has to do for prom now. Like, I get it. I graduated donkey years ago. I'm 40, right? But what is it about prom now where I feel like what I'm seeing between the cars,
It's competition.
the outfits?
It's crazy.
I
It's
heard some
competition.
kid, I don't know if this is true or not, but some 15-year-old, it was like just showing off money. He ended up getting murdered. You get what I'm saying? So I feel
heard
like
about that,
we're
yeah.
overdoing, and a lot of parents
Too
are
much.
overdoing it. You see the parents behind the kids with the money and fixing the dress and
And
the
the
trains on
parents
the
don't
dress,
have
and
no
it's just
money.
like, what is going on? Like, you're taking out loans, you borrowing from, robbing Peter to pay Paul just so your kid could take pictures and look good for prom. Like, are we even done with these college applications? Did we even get
Right.
financial aid? Do we know if there's a balance for school? Do we have to go to Nassau? Can we go to Hofstra? Like, what is going on? I just feel like there's a complete disconnect in between, like, what we need to do
It's
and what
insecurity.
we want to do.
It's insecurity.
You know what? We would rather look rich than to be rich, and I think it's
Right.
really sad. You know?
You know how like we speak a lot. Me and Steph, we talk a lot about like life, relationships, humans, men, women. The one thing I love about Steph is she knows how to not personalize conversations. She's good at listening, like, yo, that's your experience. I hear you, and a lot of times more relatable than not, right? But what I've learned is more people, when you tell them these things, like for instance, if I tell a friend that let's say he lives in the projects, yo, bro, you should be saving your money so you can get out of there. Most people feel like they're being attacked. Because anytime constructive criticism is warranted now, is looked at as you're attacking me, because we haven't taught people how to toughen up their skin and to be able to take it. But the one thing I've learned is people that are good at taking constructive criticism, they have a father that told them about themselves. I promise you. I promise you. Because one thing about a real father, he don't talk much, but when he talk, he means it. Sometimes our
Absolutely.
mothers, they just say things too much. So it's like you just
Absolutely.
like, oh, my mom just talking. But a man, like a lot of times, my mom would be like, yo, tell your son this. I'm like, you tell him, because it's bothering you so much. You should tell him. I said, but when I say something, he knows I ain't playing no games because it's bothering me. I don't want to nitpick on every little thing to sound like the little boy that cried wolf. I said, when I speak, you have to come with a level of discernment of like, look, pick and choose your battles. I can't keep complaining with my son about every little thing.
Right.
I could just be like, yo, pick up that stuff. But when I come after him, he has to know this is real. That's why he's more inclined to change his position and behavior, because he knows there's consequences after my first speaking. There's never gonna be a threat without no action if I have to say it again. And I think that's the difference. My mom was like that. My mom, she says it once. She said, y'all make room more in that room again, I'm coming in that room. My mother meant it. She's coming. So we knew, I'd be like, yo, chill, yo, tone it down, but she gonna come. My mom didn't, she wasn't the kind of person that would say, give me 1,000 chances. And the one thing I love about her, she's always said to me was, the society is not gonna give you all these chances, so I can't give you all these chances.
Right.
And I think we give our children way too many chances. Way too many chances. And then they look for that all through their life. Give me another chance. Give me another chance. And that's how you alleviate accountability. You can't be accountable because you're always looking for that person that always gave you too much chance after chance after chance. No?
Yeah.
So let me ask you another question. Now, we talked about the men who grew up without fathers. What do y'all see aesthetically happens to a woman who grows up without a father figure?
I knew it was coming.
We asked the men.
They have daddy issues.
We had to say it again?
They have daddy issues.
Elaborate on that. Elaborate on that. I'm listening. What did you see?
I see that they miss the nurturing, the love, the attention, the affection that they need from a man.
Yep.
Yeah, because your father is
Yep.
basically your first love.
Yep.
You know, and that's, you know, and everybody's a daddy's girl. Like I was a daddy's girl. I'm still a daddy's girl. And my sister
too.
put on Facebook today, oh, dad called me for, about the Knicks last night. I said, I didn't get no call. And I'm the baby. So we grew up with that love and
Yep.
that nurturing from our father. He was such, and still is, a loving father. And that's what a lot of women that grow up without their
Yep.
father are missing.
Yep. And then you see them, they be in competition with men.
Yes.
I'm like, you're in competition with a man. You're not in, one thing that's healthy about a healthy human is being cooperative. I do see that a lot of people aren't cooperative. Good, they think they are, but they aren't. They think that by challenging, you can challenge a man for all the wrong reasons and you can challenge him for all the right reasons, but it's about how you're doing it. When you're leading with like a mother, how your mother would approach a person, that's not healthy in a relationship aesthetics. You got to go to him like, let me, how about you, my woman, Steph, let's go to the gym. I'm going to challenge you. Let's go to the gym together. I think that's more healthy opposed to saying, damn, you don't go to the gym. You're more so breaking someone's confidence. I do believe that.
Yeah, it's the approach.
Yes, it's their approach. And I do believe that a lot of men that receive that, they lack confidence. In order for a man to be a great man, I do believe that you have to pour into their confidence. I do see a lot of men who confidence is wavering. The one thing my mom always said, my mom would look at me and be like, I know you about to score that next touchdown. And I'm saying, and I would score that next touchdown because my mom didn't believe I couldn't do something. If I told her I'm gonna do it, my mother would be like, man, go ahead. She called me man, go do it. Before I was a kid, before I became a man, my mother called me man. Go do it, man, you got this, right? My mother never was like, my mom would like, figure it out. If I fell, my mother would be like, get up, you be all right. If I got stuck somewhere, my mother would say, how you got this, how you get back home. That's the one thing I love about my mom. Some people are like, yo, you so strong, even without a fatherly figure. I made poor choices because there's certain things I didn't understand as what a man's supposed to do. Like, especially responsibility. I would do it sometime, then I wouldn't do it sometime, then I would do it sometime. I teeter-totted because I didn't see the consistency of a man consistently doing the same repetitional being a man every day. It's an everyday job.
And with age comes wisdom. So, the older you get, if you're not changing every year, if something's not different, if there's no light bulb moment at any point in your life, then you're not growing as a person.
100%. 100%.
You can't do the same thing you were doing 10 years ago.
Yes.
And
So
men also have to make their daughters strong.
Yes.
You have to raise your daughters to hold down everything now.
Yes.
Because they are by themselves out here.
Yes. But then you see the woman that usually do it, she's built with some level of resentment. Because I do see a lot of women that do pay all these bills by themselves, they complain about it a lot. And yeah, they can do it, but a lot of times they hate the fact that they have to do it. Right? So like even if a man don't teach me how to be a man, I'm fighting with the job because I wasn't taught that this is normal for a man. Right? So if a woman is paying these responsibilities, a lot of times they complain about it. I pay my own bills, but you sound so unhappy while saying it. You don't sound happy, right? The maturity is, I pay my own bills. I don't see 1,000 men screaming, yo, I pay my own bills. Like, it's like weird. We're grown. We're supposed to pay our own bills, right?
Well,
But
you
again,
have a lot of women out here who feel like they're entitled as well.
100%.
They feel like somebody's supposed to take care of me.
Yep.
Who's going to take care of me?
Yep.
You know? And, you know, to somebody who's basically always taking care of themselves, that's offensive. Like, I'm going to get out there and I'm going to get and do what I need to do to support myself and my family.
Yes.
You know, I've been in relationships. I've been married. People say, oh, you was a single parent. I've never been a single parent.
He was always
ever.
active.
My ex-husband was ever present in our son's life and still is. So, you know, and we always try to keep it that way because that's the kind of relationship you're supposed to have with an ex so that the kid is balanced. You know what I'm saying? But I never felt like, oh, somebody's supposed to take care of me. No, I got to take care of myself. If I'm not in a relationship, then I got to hold myself down.
Yep.
And I'm not looking for nobody to hold me down.
Yep.
When I find that person and we come together, then we're supposed to hold each other down.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And that comes along with, you know, getting to know a person and know where you stand in the relationship with the person.
Yes.
Because you have to be equally yoked. That's, you know, something that people don't really understand that, you know, they say in the Bible, and, you know, if you're a Christian, you're supposed to find a mate that shares your values. You know what I'm saying? Because you got some people that think that a woman is supposed to take care of them. You know what I'm saying? And traditionally, that's not what it's supposed to be. A man is supposed to be the man of the house, and a woman is supposed to be the help mate. We're supposed to help, not do everything.
You know the statistics actually wavering in men's favor now. It shows that more men are more active in their children, black men rather, are more active in their children's life than future past years. More men are like trying to take the initiative more to be in their children's life. I do believe that in my theory of being a man, I do see that the good men always get the baby mothers that give them the hardest time, and the bad men always get the baby mothers that give them peace and joy.
Yeah, I see it all the time. I see it all the time.
And in my experience from a lot of guys I know that's having issues with their child's mother, they're decent guys. And even if your relationship don't work, it doesn't reflect how you are as a parent. You could be a horrible husband. You could be a horrible wife, but a great mother and a great husband. They're two different, a great father. They're two different jobs, right? Being a husband don't mean you're a good father. Being a great father don't mean you're a great husband.
That's cute. Say that again.
You know what I'm saying? No, it's true.
Say it again.
No, it's true. There are good men that are good fathers. They're not good husbands. And there are women who are great mothers.
true.
They're not great wives. Because the reality of all things is, in order to be a good wife or a good husband, you have to go on with the mindset that I'm in this forever.
Right, I'm going to make it work.
I'm going to make it work.
Right.
But if you're going in with the idea that whatever, I can always leave, that means you were never meant to be a wife because you didn't really oath to you didn't believe what you were saying when you were saying it in front of, quote unquote, our God, which is a covenant before God, right? You didn't mean it because it was easily to waver or break. So you know what I'm saying? And as a divorcee, I'll be honest with you, when I got married, I didn't believe the words I was saying. So when I stood there and took that covenant before God, for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, through sickness, through health, like through death do we part. That's a major, that line right there alone, till death do we part. I think if most people really sat there and evaluate what they're saying before they're saying it, I think a lot of people wouldn't get married.
Be married. I agree.
Especially if they know they don't mean it.
Yeah,
I agree.
You know?
yeah.
But we talk about this all the time, that a lot of people have weddings and they don't have marriages, and the importance of doing premarital counseling
Yes.
before getting married, because I
Absolutely.
feel like we have a culture of people that you put the ring on and everybody wants the nice dress and you want the good venue and you want everything to just be lit and you want the fly DJ and
want the party.
and no one realizes what goes into marriage. So I feel like, I mean, Steph said ex-husband, so you've been divorced. You've been divorced. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I'm going through it. It just feel like I don't necessarily agree that when we take those commitments, we don't believe them and we're not serious. I do think that things change. And I think
Yeah.
that it's possible sometimes that people outgrow each other. People may go separate ways. I mean, I'm sorry, people want to go their separate ways. But I agree with Stephanie when she says that has nothing to do with parenting.
Yes.
When you can have a great mom and a great dad, and then they just weren't good for each other.
Right.
And that's okay.
Happens.
Like, we want to see great marriages. We want to see people stay together. But if it doesn't work, it should have no bearing on how we parent our kids. And I would never scream being a single mother if just because I'm not with the dad,
Right.
he's still taking care of his kid. He's a great dad. I'm not a single
Right.
mom. A single mom is somebody who's doing it all by herself. There is
you.
no father present, no way, no shape, no form. A single mother is not somebody who's, whether she's receiving child support or the dad has the kid 3-4 days a week, then you're not a single mother. Because
course.
there's some mothers out here that really don't have a
My
child's
mother-
father.
my
Right.
You know
my
what I'm
mother.
saying? That's a
Right.
single mom. Like,
My
if you are sharing responsibilities, then you are sharing responsibilities. Let's just call it what it is.
And
so
that's what you should say.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know?
You
So
know?
I
I want
agree
to
with
ask
that
both of y'all
100%.
something. You can answer this too. I want to ask all y'all. If someone never had a job, in most cases, will they be good at a job? Yes or no?
No, if you didn't know.
No.
What you got? Never had a job before. First job.
They can be.
But in most cases.
They can be.
Most cases, you think they can be? Okay.
I've seen people get their shot and give it everything because
No,
they never
can see
had a
that
shot.
happen. I can see that happening. But okay, my next question is, if a person never read, would they know how to read?
No.
No.
See, when we sit down and we can, 1, 2, 3, we can identify that. I think that a lot of men don't get that same grace when you say that, you know, he didn't grow up with a father. You know that, right? And you still don't give him grace to understanding how to learn it because we just base the age. But again, when you're not taught that, okay, now you have issues. Because in society today, like anytime you mention, now we're starting to get more normal, where you mention therapy. I think more people need to really understand how prominently needed therapy is. I think a
Yeah.
lot of people don't think how important
Yeah.
it is, right? They look at it like, I'm a doctor, I'm gonna fix myself. You're sitting there stitching yourself up. Even relationships, we talk about when we sick, we go to the doctor. But there are a lot of people whose brains are not healthy. And they literally need to go to a therapist, a psychologist, and really get evaluated for someone to tell you, maybe you need some help. And people can't see it because people go through their whole life pretending to be okay and ultimately dying because they never fixed themselves or got help fixing themselves. And it's sad. I see it so much.
And people go through their whole life pretending to be something that they are absolutely not.
Yes, yes, yes.
Therapy,
Yes.
I agree. Therapy for I think everyone needs some level of therapy.
Yeah.
I think we have all experienced some level of trauma. And, you know, when Q and I talk, I always tell him, we were talking earlier and I said to him, everyone's situation is circumstantial to them.
I agree.
So I can sit here and I can judge Q for something he, you know, been through, or judge Steph for something. But if you're not walking it, I can't say anything. You know what I mean? It's circumstantial to you. You know what you can tolerate. I feel like having standards just filters out what's not good for you.
Yes.
I can't sit
Exactly.
here and say to you, you know what? Well, you should have done this and you should have done that. I
Yes.
don't know what you're going through. I
Yes.
don't know your life. And I
Yes.
think sometimes we just judge people so much, and we just feel like we have a right to tell people
Yes.
what they should do in their relationships and what they should do in their marriages. And I'm one of those people who came from the old school Jamaican parents that was like, listen, still that people relationship. It got nothing to do with you, because when they lay down at night, they're going to be talking about what Shay said and what she did. You don't know what's going on in people's lives. I give people grace. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? I feel like if I can't judge you if I don't know.
Yes.
And I think we just live in a world now where everyone is judging, everyone is seeking validation,
Yeah.
everyone is looking to social. We could go on, you could have a whole conversation with ChatGPT and now you just change your whole, whatever you thought before, you just had a whole day conversation. Now you're like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm doing. Computer said it, that's what I'm doing. It's just crazy. Like,
I agree.
That's
you know,
very
your
true.
own experience, my own experience is my evidence.
Yes.
That's what I can base my life on. What I went through
Agreed.
is why I'm drawing the conclusion that I'm drawing. I don't
Agreed.
care what you say.
Agreed.
I've
Agreed.
never been one to care. 99 people could look at me and say, I disagree. If I feel like, okay, this is what I'm going through, this is how I feel, then that's what I I feel. It's not
Agreed.
discrediting
Agreed.
what you're saying. It's just saying, well, this is my experience.
That's your
And you have no
experience.
right
This
to
is
tell
mine.
me that based off of my experience, this is what I should do.
100%.
Yeah.
Agreed.
You know, do you know the one thing I always tell people is like, people tell me that when they say they could fight, I always ask them who you fought, right? One thing I've learned is with fighting in life, for instance, you growing up in a household with a mother and a father, you may have seen them have their issues, but you've seen more of a fight to stay together than a flight to get away from each other. Again, when you sit down and learn that a healthy relationship is two people that's willing to fight to stay, opposed to always catch a flight to run. And that's what I think I've learned now in my adult years, because I come from people that always gloat about, I ain't gotta stay in this. I'm like, you should have never got in it with that at all, because it was never meant for you. And then I listen to a lot of people, like I said, I'm a divorcee. And I genuinely believe that I had the mentality of, I could leave whenever I want. Even though I given this woman my last name, I still had the mentality was I could leave whenever I feel like it, which is kind of crazy because once you take on someone's last name, y'all become bonded as a family. Y'all become one. And unity, sometimes this leg might not be moving as fast as this leg. This leg might got to work a little more, but guess what? It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's just what it is.
And your ability to self-evaluate shows
Yes.
your growth as a man.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
you know, it takes a man
Appreciate
to
it.
really look at himself and say, you know what? This is what it was.
Yes.
People are still out here trying to blame everybody else for everything that's going wrong in their life and not sitting and taking accountability and really doing that mirror work and saying, okay, you know what? Let me sit in my shit for a minute. Pardon my French. Let me sit and let me figure out why this is happening to me. Why is this continuously happening to me? And own it. And that's when you can show some type of growth.
You know, even like right now, we're in one of the worst financial climates ever in the U.S. history, right? And I do see now more people are going to end up separated because of the climate that the country is in. The country's in a bad space. Like even I know people that were able to hustle up money. It's getting harder to hustle up money because people don't have the discretionary or disposable income to the magnitude. COVID gave a lot of people a false sense of money at that time. Money was in abundance. So a lot of people don't understand right now is the best place to actually have a partner than not, because today's society is just costs too much to be alone. And reality is having a partner is supposed to be able to delegate some of this workload.
Shoulder, you know,
because it gets nasty out here. It gets nasty.
It gets nasty, Q, but I don't think nasty and settling goes together. I still think that it depends on the situation. I think it works much better, of course, if there are two people. I think that is the most perfect way. It makes sense. Why would I want to, you know, like we said last week, if it's $3,000 in bills, why would I want to pay that by myself if you could come in and we could do 15-15? But I still think that you shouldn't have to settle to do that. You get what I'm saying? Like you shouldn't do what you don't do just to make sure that the bills are getting paid.
I do believe
you know
a lot of people
like
think they settle and they're not settling. I'm being honest. I always say this stuff, right? A lot of people think they're gonna find something that don't exist, that never existed, because after so many years of being on earth, why did this person come yet? Right? I don't think our God is that kind of God. I think sometimes he may have given us things that we overlooked to the point now where we're like, damn. I watched the video the other day, right? And I showed Steph. The lady was talking about how she got married twice and said the second marriage was the love of her life. And she said she couldn't see it. She said the first time she got married, she was a kid. She didn't know no better. But the second marriage, she was older, mature, but she kept watching other people tell her what was going on in their house to the point where she started looking down on her man. She said, looking back now, they asked her, where's your man, your second husband, where is he? She said, remarried and happy. They said, where are you? She said, I'm not gonna lie, single and trying to figure this thing out. And I'm like, because you only get so many chances at true love before you find something that's just settling for you also. Because the reality is with more experience comes more trauma. What comes more trauma comes more reserve, not like, it's hard to break someone that comes from so much trauma because they feel like you're fighting their trauma. So let's say, for instance, if I meet a woman who's had multiple relationships, right? I'm like trying to prove to her that I can lead her, but she's fighting all the guys that came before me. That's why a lot of guys don't go for, like, a lot of times older women, because she comes with that level of baggage a lot of times. So they be like, I don't want that because she has major issues.
That's not true, because what about an older woman that may have been married for 30 years?
But that's not most
You
women.
know, and she's 50.
That's
so,
not most women,
you
though.
know, that's,
most
she
black
may have
women aren't
had
married.
one.
It is always an exception to every rule. But in most cases, when you date a woman who's been outside, you're bringing in all the strays that she's dragging into the house. Because a woman in most cases is emotional. So with her emotions, she takes on certain energies from every relationship she's experienced, right? So for instance, I might do something she don't like. She might overly, oh, he snores because the last dude that she dated snored to the point and treated her bad. So his snoring and treating her bad, now she hates your snoring 10 times. Because it's triggering to her because of what she experienced with the last guy. So that's why I always tell people, be careful when dating, because every time, especially if you're a good woman, you take on all that luggage with you.
Yeah, because a lot of times women, we feel like we can fix them.
Yep.
Oh, I can fix it. Oh, he's not going to do that to me.
Yep.
No. You want somebody that's already in the process of healing or healed.
Yes.
And a lot of times people come to you and you don't know what you're getting. You really don't, because people, come with the fool's gold. You think it's something that it's actually not.
Yes.
And you don't find that out until a year or two down the road.
Yes.
And you're like, wow. But then you're already in. So it's like, do I walk away? Do I leave?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's the problem. Women have a problem with trying to fix everybody. They need to fix themselves. Or you know what? You need to look at yourself and try to fix yourself to figure out, why am I picking the same type of person? Now I gotta look at myself and say, okay, hold up, wait a minute. It's the same I went through before. Wait a minute.
Let me ask you this, Stephanie. Do you agree with, Q made a statement once that said, for a lot of black women, it's a two-part question. Do you agree that, one, most women are gold diggers, and two, do you feel like most women leave for their happiness as opposed to their peace? Do you agree or disagree with those statements?
Most women are
Gold diggers, one, and then do you think that most women leave for their happiness or for their peace? Or a lot of women, whatever your opinion is. Give your opinion.
I think that most women nowadays are looking to be comfortable, looking to be taken care of. That goes hand in hand with what we see now in social media and everything else. That 20 years ago we didn't have social media, so and I grew up in an era where women were getting money, like degrees, whether it would be I'm a hairstylist, so I've been getting money for years.
Right.
So sometimes almost drug dealer money. Like, I can't believe I made 10 grand this week. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's probably not drug dealer money, but that's a lot more money than somebody else was making
more than
on a 9
doctors
to
and
5.
lawyers. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So I think that like nowadays that's what women are looking, to be comfortable. They're looking to be taken care of because that's what they see. They see that this one is taking care of that one, and I think that it also depends on the age of the woman too. Because like a woman my age, I'm not looking to be taken care of. I'm looking for a partner. I'm looking for someone to share in a life with, not someone that's going to drag me down, but somebody I could lift up and we can lift each other up. But I find that a lot of the young girls, and this is like, because I have a son that's 29 and he's like, Ma, all these girls want is to go out and spend money. They want me to take care of them. They want me to get their nails done and all this other kind of stuff. And I'm like, that's crazy, because first of all, a man, if this is what a man is going to do for you, he's going to do for you. You shouldn't have to ask a man 100%. To do anything for you.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? That should come. And if that's in his spirit, if he has a spirit to give, he's going to give. You don't even have to ask. So choose wisely who you pick as a mate. And the second question was?
Do you think a lot of women, or most women, whatever your opinion is, leave for their peace or for their happiness? They leave a marriage or leave a relationship. Is it because they feel like someone out there is going to make them happier, or are a lot of women leaving for their peace because they just can't do it?
Peace.
Okay.
Peace. I feel like it's peace, especially when you get to a certain age. All you want is peace. You don't want the drama. You don't want the fighting. You don't want any of that kind of stuff. When you get to a certain space in your life, all you want to do is be happy. You want to go on vacation with your friends. You want to have a couple of drinks. You know what I'm saying? All that rah-rah stuff you did in your 20s and 30s. Nobody's doing that in their
Mental
40s
health.
and 50s.
I agree.
Yeah, mental health.
I agree, but the only thing
Mental health.
The only reason why I question that, I do believe that there are a lot of women that do that, but I do believe that more so women that coming out of relationships, they're the easiest to sleep with. They're the
And
easiest.
vulnerable.
Not all of them.
I never said all of them. I said most women that are coming out of relationships or having problems in their relationships, they're the easiest women to sleep with. They're
Not
the easiest.
all of them.
And the reason being is because they say that they're leaving for their peace, but they're looking for a piece of penis. So it's like, yes, because they're easy to sleep with. I'm sitting here telling you, if most cases when a woman is leaving or she's unhappy in her situation, she is the easiest woman to sleep with.
You're not getting nothing.
No, I'm just saying. But in most cases, most men will agree that we outside. Any man, and the issue is when you have a good woman, she makes her the standard. Mm-hmm. And the issue with good women, they make themselves the standard to the point where they don't see how most women do operate.
Right.
Most women go on girl trips, they are having sex. They are chasing dudes. There are a group of girls that go on vacation that don't want to go for guys. Mm-hmm. But mass majority that go on vacation, they are looking for attention from men. But then the girls that are good, they're going to create that to be the standard. That's not the standard. Most guys that do go on guys trips, they are looking for attention from girls. Mm-hmm. Right? It is a lies when the good group, they create themselves to be the standard. And then I'm like, no, you can't do that. Most people are definitely looking for attention.
I think it's the age, though, Q. I agree.
I
It has to
disagree.
be. I don't think every woman.
I think it's
a
maturity.
certain age group. I think when you have women that are in their 20s and stuff, maybe that's different.
That's
I
bad.
think when you have women that are like 30s, 40s, 50s are going on girls' trips to go get laid. I don't think that's really the importance of you going on a girls' trip.
I disagree. I think because when you put age on it, I know a bunch of grown little girls. A bunch of them. So I think it's a maturity thing. I know grown women who at 50 years old, like, where the dudes at? Where the ballers at? You 50 years old. Slow down, calm down. You've been hot since you were 16. It depends on the maturity of a person. I know dudes who are 50-year-old men who all they care about is girls.
Well, that's,
So
people
it
are
depends
still
on the maturity.
trying to
Yes,
live
it all
their second
depends.
childhood
Yes,
at
yes.
that point. Like,
Yes.
if you're 50 years old and you out on a girls' trip and you looking for sex, and no.
Watch
I have
this.
a bigger
Guys,
question
watch this question. For the guys that's on the live right now, whoever traveled on a guy's trip, have you ever met women that were on a girl's trip and they were looking for their attention from us? Every time I went on guys' trips, it is so much easier to get a group of girls to come back to our hotel and have fun with us. It is so much easier. Facts. It's just what it is. It's just what it is. It's like most girls that go on girls' trips, they're looking for attention from guys. There are some that don't, but most of them definitely do. Most guys do. Plenty facts. Yes. No lie told.
Says the women are looking for attention?
Yes, both cases. Listen, I do believe that if most men go on a guy's trip, they're looking for attention from girls. Most girls going on girls' trips, most girls are looking for attention from guys. Whether they're going to get the attention they're looking for, that's a different story. But the reality is, they're looking for attention. Both cases.
Somebody said running through the whole crew.
We know that already. It's just the truth.
Crazy.
But again,
Not my friends.
it's like when they go on a trip, it becomes like an excuse to be a hoe.
I disagree.
Because it's like, you don't think that statement, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas because it ain't happening?
I mean, I guess some groups
Some
of
groups,
women.
and you know
A
what?
lot.
We could say
If
that
that
for
applies
some.
to you,
We
lot.
could say that for some. If the shoe fits, wear it.
Right.
But as you know, if you're a woman who's not like that, it's not just personalizing it and making you the standard. It's actually speaking and saying, I know a lot of women that go on girls' trips, and it's just a girls' trip.
now
you know,
let me say this: I do know some women like that.
A lot.
That be going getting
I
it
do.
off.
Do you know more that are like that or more that are not like that?
I know more that are not.
Yeah.
The ones you hang out with, what the ones you don't hang out with?
The ones I don't hang out with, I don't know what they do, but the ones I used
Okay.
to hang out with, keyword used to hang
Okay.
out with,
Or like that.
yeah.
So growing up, I want to ask y'all, since y'all both women, I want to ask y'all, do you think more women, not your friends, just regular women from that you've experienced or chilled with or seen, do you think more women are hoes or more women are good girls? More men are hoes. I'm gonna say it straight. More men are hoes, just so y'all know.
So the question is, are more women hoes?
Yeah, they're not even
Than
women you
men?
hang out with. No, not the men. More women in general. Are they hoes? Or are they good girls?
Somebody said we are hoes. I think a lot of women are looking to be
I think
taken
it's
care of for
50-50.
sure.
No,
That's not the
it's
question.
It's 50
I
Are
think
more
it's
women,
50-50.
are women more hoes? So if you have 10 women, and 5 can't be the number, it can't be 50-50. Do you believe it's more leaning
6
towards
out of 10.
more
6
hoes or
out of
more
10.
good?
6 hoes.
What do you
6
think?
hoes.
And there's no, you can't do no half.
6 hoes.
I think it's like 7 or 8.
Nah.
These
I
days,
love how they know me on here. They're like, she not going
But
to
just
answer.
answer the question, please.
She gonna be like,
I hate that.
Q, stop doing that. Like, you can't ask me
Just
to ask for most. I don't know.
But I'm
I
asking
don't
you a
want to say
question.
half.
No,
I'm going to say half. I'm going to go half and
move on.
half. I'm
I'ma
going to do
move
half
on.
and half.
I'm asking you a
Half
question.
and half.
And you
I said half.
You didn't say that. I just said we can't say half.
Well, that's what I'm going to say.
What did I
Half.
just say?
You can't say that.
I said we can't say half.
you
Four.
can't say half.
4 a whole.
Okay,
6
then
to
that's
9.
your opinion. But like I said, when you have these conversations, I do hate the fact that when the only thing I'm gonna be fair, and I tell you this all the time, only reason why I hate having conversations with certain women, they're not comfortable with having no conversation outside of themselves because they always make themselves the standard, and it's hard to have a. Yo, Jay, catch that, catch that, catch no the phone. Most people, they're not honest. And it's like very dishonest. I'm like, and it's distasteful because if you said to me, yo, Q, do you believe that most guys are going outside looking for girls? Hell yeah. I'm not gonna lie. But then a woman be like, I'm not like that. So what? You ain't on women.
A lot of women can't be honest with each other.
No,
They can't be honest with themselves. So,
they're not honest.
you know, it takes a certain level of maturity and trust because a lot of women don't trust each other.
Yes.
So, you know, we can have a circle of friends, but maybe 2 of those people really know 100% what's going on with that person because they
Yes.
don't trust the other 2 in the circle, you know, and that's women are different. Like, I hear y'all having conversations with each other in the shop. I'm like, women could never have those kind of conversations. Never.
We talk straight.
'Cause we would have those conversations and we would never be friends again. Never. You walk away, like, I don't F with that B no more. Nope, that's it, and it's done. I seen y'all curse each other out, talk trash to each other, and the next day y'all dapping it up like, what's up, what's good?
That's how
you
men
know?
are.
And it's I admire y'all for that. I do.
I appreciate it. But I do believe that, and I say this all the time, I think most women lie to each other. I'm sorry. From my experience, and even coming over there now, I see it even worse now. I've always had that mentality where I always say, yo, a lot of women lie to each other, right? But I see it more than ever now. They will lie to each other. I'm like, yo, stop lying to each other. Why do y'all lie to each other so much? If I got a good friend, right, and he got a good girl, I'm not gonna tell him like, yo, bro, you should live. I'm like, bro, you bugging. You're not finding that again. A girl be like, girl, do you? I'm like, that's crazy. You about to mess up this girl's whole life because your life is miserable and you're not happy with your situation. So therefore, you guess what? You want someone to be in the same situation as you because I do believe the worst woman to get advice from is a single woman in most cases. In most cases. Because a lot of them, they lead it with how they feeling at the moment. If they hate men, believe you me, she gonna hate your man too. She gonna hate him too, just because of how she's feeling. Right? When most men go to people who can relate to their circumstance to get advice from. I don't go to a man that's not in a serious relationship to go get advice from. I've never have done that. Right? A man has to be in a financial situation for me to go get advice financially. I'm not gonna lie to no man. You see, I talk straight stuff. I don't believe in the whole sugarcoating, lying, but I do believe some people will ask you for your opinion, but if your opinion is not what they want to hear, they don't want to hear you. So it doesn't even make sense to have a conversation with them because they already made up their mind that no matter, if it ain't what I want to hear, I ain't trying to learn nothing new. And I think that's where we at as a culture today. You know, and I see it every single day. If a man musty, I'm like, yo, fam, you musty. I don't care what he say. I'm like, you musty, fam. I shouldn't have to deal with your must to live in your space. I'm gonna pull you aside and definitely tell you about yourself. Stuff you know how I am. I'm like, fam, you gotta tighten up with your hygiene a little bit, because that's crazy. I'm like, yo, this is what it is. I do believe that if the world got back like that, we'll be in a better space. Like, I'm not gonna lie, and I'm gonna say this, the way some people let their friends come out the house, male and female, but I know, man, we gonna laugh at you. As soon as you come out the crib, we flaming you. Like, yo, he wilding. Look at your mans, he bugging. Right in front of him. But a girl be like, then they get home to you as a man, yo, you should have seen what she had on today. She look crazy. Matter of fact, I got a picture with her. I'm like, damn, y'all are so fake. Shit, my heyday, I was outside in traffic. I've dealt with a lot of women. I'm talking about professionals. I've dealt with it all. And every one of them, for the most part, have this mentality where they talk about each other behind their back. Every time they tell each other, they tell all their business to their man. We know everything about their friends. Everything. Things we don't even care to know. You know? You know what I'm saying? Come here, you said, not my crew. You don't know if your friends telling they man about you. You don't know that. You assume. We just don't say nothing. I'm not gonna walk up to you and be like, hey, my girl told me you to hold the crew. I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna just act like I like her.
When you in that room and you see that friend.
Yes, you be like, I don't want you around her. When you start seeing my girl hang out with you less, it's because she's telling me too much about you. Because I'm like, I'm not feeling comfortable with you around her. Because you keep telling me she's such a hoe. So why am I feeling comfortable with you around her? Right? But we just keep it real. But like I said, some people, they not truthful. I know there's things right now that people have told me about their friends that they would never tell a friend. And that's supposed to be your friend.
Right. And that's not a friend.
No.
Right.
That is
But
crazy.
women are just not good. Let's be honest, ladies. And you know I love you guys. You know I'm always team girls, you know? But we can't handle the truth from our friends sometimes. And that's just what it is. Because you're a salon owner. You've been in a salon for years, so you see it. You know when you tell a woman about herself, it makes her angry. She don't want to talk to you no more. She want this, she want that. Guys are different. Because guys, I feel like guys will put it different. Like, yo, your outfit look crazy. You know, you laugh it off. With women, it's not a funny way of saying it. We just got to be like, girl, you really still dating him and he beating you like that? And you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have a way of like sugarcoating it with our friends. So it comes off as if we're being like mean. So it's not taken like lightly, if that makes sense. Guys, I feel like y'all could play around about it. Like, if you telling your homeboy his breath stink, you're not gonna be like, yo, I need you to get out of the shop, your breath stink. You're gonna be like, whoa, anybody got a gum, his breath, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, for women, we like, girl, you really sit in my chair with your breath smelling like that? We just can't, we're not nice about it. So women, they're
gonna say you hating on them.
Exactly. They're gonna say, mad, you hating, blah, blah, blah.
In nice words, you have to be fake to be around each other.
But it's not being fake,
It is being fake.
It's just kind of like
not
sometimes.
telling the truth is being fake.
But Q, you don't have to tell somebody everything about them.
It's not about
I
that.
don't have
if that's
to.
your friend, you should always have to be. You should always
Let's
be able to
just
tell
say
the
your
truth.
friend got something on and you know she doesn't look good. You go to your friend and be like, girl, she be like, how do I look? And you say, honestly, I think you could choose
Fake.
something else. I think you could choose
If
something
you don't
else.
say that, then you're being fake.
Okay, can I finish?
Right.
You say to her, I think you should choose something else. Come on, Steph. You know how she gonna take that.
Yeah.
I mean, you being
Because
fake.
let's just be real. Me and you are friends, and I got an outfit on, and I say to you, Steph, how's this outfit? And you be like, girl, honestly, you should have chose something else. I might feel a certain type of way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now she gonna make me think about the outfit like, damn, should I choose something else? But I'm gonna be like, why she said that? She mad. That's just how women are wired. I don't know why,
you know
but
what
that's
it
just
is?
what it is.
Society has created this fake sisterhood that they're not really loyal to.
Yeah, you're right
I'm gonna
about
keep it
that.
100 with you. Y'all got the fakest sisterhood on earth because most women hate each other. They do not respect each other. And they do not like each other.
Most women are in competition.
They're in competition with each other
another.
too. So reality is they're just so fake. They're just so fake. And it's like, it's disgusting. I'm like, this is how you got to survive around each other? I got to
Yeah, it's
lie
the
to
delivery.
you? Which is
My
crazy.
real friend
I
better
don't think
tell
so.
me,
I think it's
girl, you
no
better
matter what.
change.
Yes.
You better put something else on.
And it
Yes.
depends on the friend it's
Yes.
coming from and
Right.
the delivery.
I respect that
You
right
know
there.
what I'm
Someone
saying?
said we are hurting. And I respect
Yeah.
that.
It
You know what I'm saying?
depends.
But a lot of people did not. It didn't matter the delivery. You can go to a person and tell them the truth. Most women are not comfortable and receptive of hearing truth. No matter how it's said. No matter how. It could be said nicely. It could be said in genuine, in good faith. It doesn't matter.
You say that, but a lot of men be in their feelings too, more
because
than
they
women.
come from feminine mothers that raised
And
them
even
like
the
that.
ones that didn't. There's some men that you tell
I
them
don't know
about
too many.
themselves and now they on it. I dated a guy,
His dad probably was a sucker.
and the minute you said to him, listen, I don't like those pants. I like them. They could whatever. I'm wearing them. He walking out. What's wrong with them? You think they look stupid? You think they look crazy? Should I change them? I say you said they was good. Like just go. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But so sometimes I think it's just people just
But
get their feelings
did you see him
hurt.
as a manly man?
Yeah. Why
don't
is that not a
believe it.
manly man?
No,
Because
that's not what I'm asking you. I'm asking you as a person. Did you see him as a manly man?
Yes, I did.
Wow, then why y'all didn't work out?
Yes, what does that have to do with anything?
Because if he's such a manly man, like that mean
It was like you not having anything negative to say about your exes and me saying, why didn't that work out? That wasn't the point of the conversation. It was just me saying.
If I saw a manly man in most cases is a good man.
Mm-hmm.
Is a good man. The things that most women complain about is because they're not manly. A manly man in most cases are
The
good
reason
men.
we didn't work out was because he cheated, and while I was pregnant, I had someone on the phone saying to me that I did not know that you were in a relationship with this man. He didn't tell me that he had a pregnant
Well, that's a
girlfriend.
good enough
Since we're gonna do
reason.
that, let's do it.
No. What I'm saying
That's
is,
why.
a lot of the times, men these days that are like that is the women that you overlook certain things in the beginning because of, girl, he's cute, girl, he's this, girl, he's that, girl, he's this. They don't see things in the beginning. They ignore it. So when you listen to it, I'm like, you kind of ignore it. Because we can come around a man in seconds and be like, there's no way she don't see this. And then Steph, she walks away, we sitting there, everyone's talking about what's the obvious, she just can't see it because she's just so, quote unquote, matized by the you know what. Right? And then until she comes back to her senses, then she gonna start be like, he a bum. He been a bum 6 months ago. He been a bum a year ago. He been a bum 3 years ago. Like, when did you notice it? We've been seeing it when you brought him around. We knew it, he was a bum. Like, but again, even with guys, that's how we do. Steph, no, a guy come to me, complain about a woman, I'm like, how long y'all been together? 3 years? It took you 36 months to tell me that her sex is whack. 36 whole months it took you that long to realize that. That is crazy. Of course. That's why I said I can't get jiggy with a lot of females because you can't tell me it's wee-wee little, you've been with them 10 years. Because that little wee-wee was satisfying you. Maybe you got some new wee-wee that changed your perspective. But in reality, 10 years. See, that's why some women don't like me because I'm like
Ladies,
that.
is that a deal breaker though? Like, would you leave? Do you think that you would? You're not a lady, Q. I said ladies.
No, I was talking to her.
Would you leave a man, Stephanie? Let's just say he was a provider, he was doing everything, and the wee wee is little. Is that a he gotta go?
Oh my God.
I'm just asking. He's taking care of business. Everything is good in the relationship in terms of he's a provider, he's a manly man, but the sex is awful. Are you staying or are you leaving? Can you handle?
At this stage in my life, I'm staying.
Okay.
Because marriage is a partnership. I mean,
Okay.
if we're talking marriage, yeah, it's a partnership. And I knew beforehand that his wee-wee was little. So,
Okay.
Obviously that didn't sway me on saying I do, in the relationship or whatever the case may be. But it's really funny because I just had this conversation last night with someone who was dating someone and still is dating this person. And he's got a little eeny, really, and I saw it, she showed me.
Ooh.
And
Ooh.
I said, what are we doing?
Ooh.
And she's like, oh, he doesn't even do, I said, so he doesn't do oral.
You don't do oral at
No,
all?
at all.
And he got a
At
little
all.
wee wee?
Right.
And she's staying?
And she's staying. She's been off and on with this guy for like 8 years. I can't stand him. And I'm like, what? I
probably won't be alone.
I said, I don't know. Something is wrong with you. And I need you to go for some counseling.
Yes.
Because for you to be in that type of abusive mentally relationship with someone who's not satisfying you at all in any space in life, then you got to look at yourself. Something is going on with you that you got to figure this thing out. Just
Yeah,
had this
that's
conversation
crazy.
last night. We
But-
laughed
but-
about it, but seriously, I'm like, girl, I got to get you some help.
Could never be, Lucy.
No.
That's wrong. But let me ask you this. On the flip side, what about a man who is pleasing you sexually in every way, but financially, he ain't really up to par? He making a little something, but he ain't really pulling his weight. Are you working with that or are you leaving?
I'm leaving.
You leaving? Okay.
I'm leaving.
And you wanna know
Because I
something?
feel like
Mistake.
a man is supposed to be a man. And if,
Okay.
if you gotta pull,
Ash,
you
that's
gotta
great.
meet me or surpass me. And if you not, if I'm here and you here, then what we doing here? What we
Okay.
doing? Because our goals are not the same in life. So if I'm seeing that this is what I want and you still over here wanting this, then in 10 years, where are we going to be? I'm still going to be wanting something that you can't even feel like you can attain, and you're not trying to get to that point. So no, that's just a waste of time.
So let me ask you this. What would disqualify a man from dating you? What are some of your requirements in a relationship, and what are some of your deal breakers? What are some things that you can say, you know what? I usually wouldn't, but I would deal with this.
It has to be a man of a certain age. That's because I'm a woman of a certain age.
Okay.
I would prefer to deal with men who have grown children,
Okay.
someone with a steady income,
Okay.
someone that is willing to invest, someone who is somewhat of a risk taker, because I'm a risk taker. So I need someone to understand that I'm going to take risks, and if we're going to be partners, you're going to have to be down with that risk that I'm taking and understand that, okay, I might not understand what she's doing, but she's going to get it done. And to be there to help me, you know. So yeah, I need to be with someone that's like that.
Okay. Q, I'll ask you the same question. What are I mean, obviously you're in a relationship, but I'm just saying, but let's say you weren't. What are some things that would disqualify a woman, and what are some things that are deal breakers, and what are some qualities or that you look for in a woman in a relationship?
My goal is always to upgrade a woman's life, to make it better. I don't want to carry a woman through life. I want to intensify, make her life even better. So if she was going to 2-star dinners, now I could bring her to 4 and 5 stars. If she had a smaller place, now I brought her to a home. But my goal is when I first started dating, I wanted a woman that owned her own house. And the reason being is because they come with a level of maturity. You know what I'm saying? They just think different when it comes to like life responsibilities. For me, dating a lot of the girls that didn't have or wasn't her goal, they tend to not have the same priorities as a woman that either owns a home or trying to own a home. They have a different mentality. That was one of my requirements. I said, I want to date someone that she has her own home, because I own my own homes with an S, right? So I said, I want to make sure I'm dating a girl that has that also. So therefore, when we do come together, if I say, yo, I want to fix my house, I got to do the gut, she understands those things. But sometimes when you take a woman from her parents' house, she's never really had no responsibility. And the girl I would date that don't own a home, she had to be living on her own. I'm not talking about no social services. I'm not talking about no welfare. I'm not talking about no baby daddy, child support. I'm talking about she really had to be covering it herself so she could really understand a difference of the change financially, opposed to leaving her parents, coming to me, and just not feeling it because she never felt it on her own. So that's just what it is. I wanted a woman that had a certain level of maturity. And I would say one of the next ones is how she talks when she gets upset. That was one of my main focuses also. I said, because we're going to have differences. I want to see how you react when things aren't happy. That shows me who you are, because I believe drunk people, kids, and angry people tell you the truth, how they truly feel. And if a person disrespects me in anger, I'm not taking that lightly. I'm going to take that to heart, because I know that's how you really felt. And you were waiting for this moment to express yourself. So guess what? You will never have that same level of relationship with me ever again. And that's just my mentality. I've always felt like that, because I'm not, in anger, I can bite my tongue with my boss, why I can't bite my tongue with my woman. And vice versa for a woman. In anger, you can bite your tongue for your boss, while you can't bite your tongue for your man, because you don't respect him. It's
So
just
I
what it is.
have a question for Q and the men on the live. No, I love you guys, even the ones that don't like me. I love you guys. What is it about men that you say men will stay even if they're unhappy, and you say, well, women will leave, whether it's leaving for our peace or our happiness? But you've said this a lot. And again, guys, you know, me and Q talk outside of this all the time. But you say men will stay. So what is it about whether a man is happy or not, he'll stay? And if a woman is unhappy or she wants her peace, she'll leave. Why is it that you would stay even if you're miserable and you hate the situation or whatever it is that is going on in your relationship?
I want to answer that.
I do believe that,
For both of you.
this is my experience. I believe that more women nowadays in the dating world are delusional based on what they expect to come look for them. I do believe that a lot of women overvalue themselves when it comes to dating. I do believe that a woman can find a man, but the issue is the kind of man they think that's looking for him ain't looking for him. He ain't checking for him. And then they lie to themselves. They be like, oh, this high value. I'm like, listen, the high value men are very, 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 very selective when it comes to choosing women, because they know they have plentiful of options. So again, why would he choose that? In most cases, those kind of guys that a lot of women describe, I think like 90% of women are in line for these same guys. They're all in line for these same guys. And these guys probably have them as 3 and 4 and 5 as an option. And they don't even see it because of the fact that you overvaluing yourself. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying you shouldn't love yourself, you shouldn't respect yourself. What I'm saying is, in the dating world, it has a market value. Some people don't know their dating market value because they're around people who don't tell them the truth. One thing about my guys, they'll bring me a woman. What I told you when I met your woman, you hit the jackpot, right? Was she the most physically fit woman? Was she the most beautiful woman on earth? But she was the best woman I ever could see you with. I think men have more logic when it comes to choosing a mate because of the fact that we don't think with our feelings. We think with our logic when we choosing a mate. Like, I know my woman has flaws, and I accept that. As long as you can still, with your flaws, be my peace, I can deal with your flaws too. But if you're gonna point the finger at every single thing I do, but you don't have that same, you don't want that same energy coming back at you, I don't wanna be with you. So for me, I wanna make sure that if you come with all this energy, make sure you can receive that same energy. Because I do believe that people that complain a lot, they're not comfortable with people complaining about them. They're
I
not
think a
comfortable
lot
with
of women can accept certain flaws too, especially if it's physical. I think a lot of times for most women it's financial,
of
right? Because
women do.
if I fall in love with a guy and he got one leg, then it's just me and Rabbit.
Right.
Like we
Right.
doing what we do. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
I'm never gonna. I think women are not so fixated on physicality.
No.
I think men are. I think
Okay,
men
so
are
what
more
about this?
so
agree with that.
for the
Stay on
physical.
this.
No, men are. But yes, but just the way you're on physicality, then women are
I
on
think
what
men,
they're
as we
on. It
get
doesn't
older,
matter.
we change that though.
What?
As
You-
men get older,
Yeah, that
no,
changes.
the physical,
So let me ask you this: when you say a lot of high value men, why would they pick you? What do you mean by that?
because they have the pick of the litter.
okay, in terms
They're
of
go-
what? When you say to pick
women.
up? Okay, in terms of what? Like what?
They're gonna go for the highest. When a man is so established, he don't have to get a bum girl with a big mouth. He gonna go get the most beautiful girl. He don't need her money. Once a man gets established, I don't need my woman to keep my house afloat and establish my life. My woman has to complement my journey.
So it's not a physical thing. It's not an attractiveness
That
you're
is
talking
a
about.
part of it. A man does have to be attracted to you. But
Okay.
a man will bypass that if you are every bit of his piece. I've seen some not so attractive women with some decent looking guys. But when you sit down and talk to her, I'm like, I can see why she's with him. I can see why she's with him. Because again, she's just such a good person. She makes him feel complete and she complements his journey.
So,
It's just what it is.
So what makes a woman a high value woman?
The issue, her respect, the way she talks to me. Most women keep thinking that it's about their money. In most cases, Steph, we got to be fair. Most women are not 100% sharing what they earn with a man. So reality is, why would a man value your education, value your career, value your house? Because if I move in your house, you're going to diss me for being there. If I drive your car, you're going to get mad and tell me, bring me back my goddamn car, right? And if you make money, you're not going to pay all my bills. So why would a man overvalue those things when in reality, you're not willing to share it wholeheartedly like a man would? It's just, it don't make sense. So when a woman keeps bragging about her credentials, I'm like, it don't make sense that you think a man cares about that because he's not going to be able to enjoy it the way you're going to be enjoying it. The way you can come into a man's house and he rolls out the red carpet for you, you'll do it with discretion if he follows my rules. If he don't follow my rules, here it goes. Get up out of my house. You can get up out of here. You don't need, this is my house. That's just what comes with it. It's just what comes with it. And that's why a lot of men don't care. So a man will take a McDonald's employee because he knows why? Because she's more respectful. He don't need her money. He don't need it. If a man has established himself, why would he care? Because he knows he's not wholeheartedly getting your finances. Because what's his is yours and what's yours is yours. In most cases.
So the question Shay said was, why do men stay?
Men stay because of the fact that a lot of times when we love, we genuinely love. When a man loves, we loves unconditional, right? We thug it out to the end. Because there's a lot of things, right? I'm gonna give you a fact. If a man calls me a bitch, what is the consequences of a man calling me that? Punching him in his face. The fact that I will tolerate you as a woman telling me these things that I would normally hurt a man for, it says that I unconditionally love you. You're trained from a child to always go on the defense or attack anytime these words come out. So now the fact that I'm having these reserves with you is because I love you and because I care about you. And because again, I'm like, you're just upset, so guess what? I'm gonna deal with it. That's how you know a man loves you. Because when you can call a man out of his name and he tolerates that and then go back to acting like it never existed, that man love you. He love you a lot. He loves you a lot. Because I'm gonna tell you something, the high value men that these women be looking for, he ain't tolerating none of that. Zero. I'm telling you, you're gonna be like, yo, get out of here, on to the next. Or you're gonna be on the list. And you know it's true.
I think some men stay because it's cheaper to keep her.
Sometimes if the kids did something wrong.
Agreed, Steph.
Sometimes.
Like,
I feel like sometimes they got these kids, they got this house, and they know I gotta break this broad off. I gotta pay 17% for each one of these kids.
they don't want to start over
But
and
y'all-
be
but
doing
y'all
that over
start
there.
over.
Yeah.
But America does that for women. It incentivizes.
Yes, it
them
does.
for leaving.
Divorce, yeah.
That's why a lot of them don't care about leaving. If they really stop doing that, a lot of women would not be on it like that. I promise you. They incentivize. They give you things for leaving.
Yeah.
It's like you're being rewarded
That's
for failing.
true. That's true.
Why are you being rewarded for failing?
Well,
You should be rewarded for staying together.
The system is,
That's the real issue.
very flawed. So
100%.
It is very flawed. And you know
Yeah.
what? Q put me on to some game the other day that I didn't know, and I'm still baffled by
Did I?
it. That he said, don't do that. Don't do that.
Bomb that.
I hate how you act on camera.
Bomb
Because
that.
you know
I'm
off camera, you're a
joking.
big teddy bear, and
I'm
you're
joking.
very soft, and you're very nice
You
to
my
me.
sister. This my
so
sister.
stop making these
Just
people,
so you know,
stop making these people think you're
just
not
say- let me
nice
just say
to
this,
me.
Shay. Real talk. When I talk about women, the only women that take it like you dissing them is the women that's insecure with truth. Because again, you asked me a question about a man's lens. Most men think the way I think. You don't see a bunch of men say he capping, he talking crazy. All you see is women saying it because they don't want the man to say what we feel. That's all you see. The men in the comments
Thank
like
you, Miss
facts.
Goody.
You telling the truth. But again, women don't want to learn from a man. They want the man to feel the way they feel, which will never happen.
Right.
I was not born with a vagina. I don't menstruate every month. I don't know what menopause feel like. I
Oh,
would
crazy.
never
I
know what it
wasn't
feel
born
like.
with a penis, so when I say
I
stuff,
will
it's the
never
same
know.
thing.
No, what I'm saying is you say
It's the
things.
same thing,
No,
Seth.
Shay. You
It's the same
asked me.
thing.
No, but she asked me questions about a man, and why would a man, like, why would he? Most men that make money, they choose what they want. They're the pick of the litter. Because I'm telling you something, a man could be looking like Shabba Ranks. He walk in the spot, and you know he got bread. They on his heels. They on his heels. They on his heels.
That's
They be like,
true.
he go from, he got that bag. There's a whole nother energy now.
That's true.
Way more respect now.
That's true. I agree.
So now that he gets this
Women will lower their standards because
But yeah,
he's
for saying got some
financially
money.
good.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
say, I would never date a guy that
Yeah.
does. I would never date a guy
There
that
you go.
Shabba come through. You with it.
There you go.
You with it.
That's
So
true.
you're basically saying that most women are about the money.
Agreed.
yeah,
Most men, we don't get your
want
money.
to be taken care of.
But
Yeah.
we don't get your money. So guess what? It has to be.
But Q, that's like you saying a lot of
Unconditional.
men. The 304. That's like you saying a lot of men are about physicality. What's the difference?
Because
Everyone
with-
just
with-
has
with-
their preference.
No, no,
Whether
no.
women want to be financially stable and men want to be with the trophy woman, it's the same thing, just a different analogy.
Shit, you can't say a woman is independent but also being codependent on a man. Meaning expecting things from a man. Independence means self. Independence don't mean two people. Independent is
No, that
individual.
has nothing to
what
do
I'm
with what I
saying is
just
there are
said.
women who scream independence, but yet and still expect things from a man.
No, that had
That is not-
nothing.
I don't
that-
expect much from a woman.
But that had nothing to do with
Right?
what I just said.
I'm just saying, I don't expect much from a woman. I don't expect much. I expect respect. Right? I don't expect my woman to pay my mortgage. I don't expect my woman to pay my bills. I don't expect a woman to take me out to eat. I don't expect a woman to fly me out. I don't expect those things.
Q, what are you talking about? That
Well, if
wasn't my
you'll Stay
point.
with me. When a grown man becomes an adult, you understand
Right.
what I'm saying? When a man becomes an adult,
Big shut
our
up.
expectations aren't the same expectations of women. Again, if we keep going to where we're going, eventually the men are going to get to the point where he's like, yo, we're going to jump on the same type of time. Y'all chasing the bag? We're going to chase the bag.
Well, that's happening now.
Why?
That's
because
happening now.
it's so more than likely, his mother was like, you better date somebody that got some money. So
Or
therefore,
they
he went in the same
intentionally
thing.
go out and look for women
100%.
that have money.
Right.
So you seen it on both sides. You see the men that are chasing girls with money. You see the women that are chasing men with money. And more men are going to get like that because it's like, damn, I date you. You leave me. You get most of what I have because of the fact that you ain't happy. God damn. Most men don't even want to be married these days no more because it doesn't benefit the men. Most men that get married, they do it for the one. I ain't never heard in my existence, outside maybe a gay guy, I have never met a straight male, a heterosexual male say, I can't wait to be married. Yo, we're going to walk down there, we're going to wear matching. I ain't never heard that in my life. I ain't never, but even the ones that get married, I've never heard one that say that. They do it because they want to do it to cater to the woman. That's what the woman wants. That's her dream. So that's why they do it. I ain't never heard a man say that. Yo, I can't wait to marry you. What? I never heard it. He does it because he knows it's the right thing to do for the woman that wants to be married. That's why he does it. Because in most cases, we get burnt in a divorce.
Me and Meta said marriage don't benefit men.
He said that to you, Catalin. A lot of times men say things to women they don't mean. They go around their man, you know I'm doing this because that's what she want.
Yeah.
That's called compromising. They're compromising.
But you know what? Independent women who make their own money really don't care about your money, Q.
No.
We don't care about your money.
disagree.
No.
Q.
I disagree.
Women who are independent that make their own money that can hold themselves down really don't care about your money.
me
Just
tell
the
us,
way
Kat.
you say,
Facts.
just the way you
Kat.
can I please finish?
Yes, but it's
just
Kat.
the way you say a man of a certain stature and value don't care about a woman's finances? Why do you think that us who make our own money, who can take care of ourselves, pay our own bills, care about your money? When I say your money, I don't mean you're not making nothing at all. You're not just coming in here being a bum, but we're not dependent because we know we can do okay without
So can I ask you a
you.
question? So how come most independent women always look for a man that makes more than them if it's not about their money? Most women who make a lot of money will not date a man who makes extremely a lot less money than them and respect them. So therefore,
Yeah.
it's clearly about the money.
I mean,
Dun,
You know
dun,
what?
dun.
That's not true.
I want to
Not
say that
everybody.
It's,
That's not
Most
true.
women
It's not
that
everybody.
make good money they will
That's
not
not
respect
true.
a man that makes a lot less money than them.
Loyalty and respect.
I was trippy, man. I'm gonna
They
get
be
back
lying.
to that. I'm gonna get back to
A lot
that.
of women be
Trippy.
lying, man. I'm sorry. Most women that make a lot of money, they're not respecting a man that make a lot less money than them and treat him like a man. They're
When you
not.
say a lot like Cuba, that's not true because, like I said,
Oh my
Steph,
God.
you could speak for
This is
yourself, so you could
crazy.
agree or disagree because you're on here.
This is
So everybody will say I'm
crazy.
lying. Do you feel like, as a woman who makes her own money, you have your own business? Let's say your partner makes less than you. Are you automatically disrespecting him because he makes less than you, Steph?
No.
Not
Like,
you,
what are you
but
saying?
what I said is you're making you.
I
Most
asked
women.
Stephanie. No.
Let's remove Steph and let's remove Shay.
Let's ask
talk in
you.
general.
Excuse me, another
She gonna
lady
say
here.
no.
Another lady here.
You think a woman
Do
gonna
you
tell you that
feel
she
like
hit men
if you're
and abuse
independent,
men
you're
and
making
verbally
your
abuse men?
money, you can
You think
take
a
care of
woman gonna say
yourself.
that?
Your man is making
No.
a little.
No.
Your man is making less than you. Are you automatically disrespecting him? Women on the
Yo,
chat,
kids, let me ask you a
if y'all
question.
making more
Could you go on
money,
a date with a girl
I'm
and a
not
girl gonna
delusional,
say to you,
Lawrence.
right, she gonna say to you, hey, when me and my man, this is your first date. How do you act when you get upset? You think she gonna say, when I get mad, I'm gonna verbally abuse you? She ain't gonna say that. You gonna feel it when you get there. I don't know nobody that tell you the 100% truth about themselves. Most people are representatives. You meet their representative when you meet them.
That's
But
for
again,
sure.
when the bills start hitting and you feel like you worked all day and he ain't work as much as you gonna start seeing them feelings start coming out. It comes out vocally. Most women are not accepting a man who make a lot of money, make a lot less than them, and respect them. It's just what it is. Maybe you're the exception to the rule, but most women aren't like that. And if you make you the rule, you're lying to yourself. Then 1 minute we talking about you looking for a man to take care of you. It's about how much money he making. Then all of a sudden he could be don't have. It don't make sense. It's contradiction. It's not making sense. It's a contradiction. 1 minute, we care about how much money he made, he gotta have his own money. Then the next minute, he can make a lot less money than you and be okay. That's crazy. It's a lie. Come on, most women do care, they care. And they're not gonna respect them. They're not gonna respect them. I'm not saying y'all, but in most cases, most women gonna talk crazy to them.
We care, but it's not for some of us. I'm gonna speak for some of us. It's not a deal breaker.
I agree. If you
It's not
said
a
that,
deal
I agree.
breaker.
Some women
Whatever,
are like
Q.
that. Some women will take a guy that makes less money than them and respect them. It happens every day and they're married and they live in their life. But in most cases, society has taught a woman respect comes from the fact that he earns. If he doesn't earn, don't give him respect. And that's how most women operate. The more educated she is, the more she has her life together, the more she starts looking at men
you just agreed
as
with
beneath
Steph
her.
for saying the same thing as me. It's like you'll disagree with me. Steph said the same thing. What did you just say, Steph? Say it again. And he said, I agree about the money, making the money. Go ahead.
I said
What did I say? I said
It's not a deal breaker. Q said,
because
I agree.
You know why I agree with her? Because I know her personally. How many times do I say on this podcast, yo, I know a lot about Shay that I stand with her for when she says, I said, but Shay, you got to stop making the rule because you are certain ways different than a lot of women. How many times I say that? I say that all the time. Because again, I know her personally, like extremely personally. So I know she would do it. But again, most women aren't doing that. And again, you can't make you the standard because most women are not jacking a man that she's working more hours than, she's making more money than, and she's paying more bills than, and then look at him as a man. No. Wait till she get mad. He's gonna have to deal with a lot of vocal boxing in that house. He's gonna have to vocally be told about himself a lot, and he's gonna have to deal with it. He's gonna have to deal with it. It is what it is. It's just what it is. I don't even create the rules. I understand it. In order for a man to, in most cases, to be looked at as a man, you gotta bring home. You got to be a provider.
That's very
Stephanie,
true.
do you agree with Q when he says most women lose value as we get older, and we
To
lose
men.
value to
To
men.
men.
I'm sorry. Most women lose value as they get older to men, especially in the dating world. Is that something that you can say you agree with?
I want to. Well, it depends. It depends on what that man is looking for. Like, I'm not valuable to somebody if they want kids.
Right.
My kids are grown.
Right.
I'm not having any more kids. So if that's what a man is looking for, then I'm not in that range of what he's looking for. But as far as me getting older with value, my value goes up.
Self.
My value goes up.
Self.
every year my value goes up because my wisdom, my courage, my strength, just me being here as a woman, every year my value goes up. So no, I don't agree with that. But I know that there are some high value men who are looking for younger women because they want to have children, or they want to be able to mold a woman the way that they want a woman to be. And, you know, they might look for younger women. So yeah, I guess it's 50-50. I guess, you know, if someone is looking for somebody that wants to have children with, or he wants to help raise her again or whatever, men my age looking for a younger woman
But would y'all agree? Would y'all agree?
doesn't always work
But
out.
in most cases, if you look at the aesthetics of most people, fathers and mothers, most cases the father is older than the mother.
My mother's older than my dad.
But that's a rarity. But in most cases,
Yeah, typically the
grandma
dad
was
is-
younger than dad. And
Yeah.
sometimes it's 5 to 10 years. It's been like that since the beginning of time. Men value younger women. It's not my opinion. Women value men that have money.
Because younger women can be led. They could be molded.
Yes,
they
they
could
can.
be shaped. A woman of my age, it's not much shaping and molding you're going to be able to do, because I am who I am. The only thing you can do is support, uplift, help, you know.
Do you think that the reason why a lot of older men go for younger women is because they feel like they can mold them?
Yeah.
For a question for you and Q.
Yeah, I do.
I think so too. I think in most cases, men go after younger. The same way y'all go after men with money, we go after younger because of our preference. We value a woman that's not that having. In most cases, the older you are, the more experience you have.
Right.
So the
more-
reality is, I'm gonna have to deal with the luggage you coming with.
But do you think that's an insecurity issue?
No, I
that
think
you
it's
guys
a
are just
preference thing.
insecure.
The same way it's insecure of you not having to take care of a man is the same way I choose a younger woman because of. The weirdest part about this conversation is there is only one penis sitting here right here, and that says this. But to tell a man to not think the way they think is crazy. That's how men think. Men, that's what they want. They prefer it. But if a woman is in, I get hit on every day. I'm like, come on, man, you lying to yourself. All you gotta do is ask. Let me ask you a question. Watch this. You take a woman from high school, right? And I want ladies to be honest. If some gonna lie, if you take yourself from high school and you take your current self, do you get hit on today more, or do you get hit on more when you were younger? They're gonna
course,
say
when I
when they were
was
younger.
younger.
But I'm saying most women I get hit on, but they lying. They're lying. There was a video, right, of the grandmother and her granddaughter. Her granddaughter was getting hollered at. The grandmother said, oh my God, these boys are so thirsty. You know what the grandmother said? You better enjoy it. She said, because it runs out. And again, some girls lie to themselves. The issue with men and women that a lot of women don't want to accept stuff, a woman is born with value to men. From day one, a woman can get the kind of guy she wants because she's a woman. She has a prize that when a man is more immature, she can control him with, which is a
Absolutely.
vagina. When you're younger, you can catch a man of your dreams because of that vagina. But as you get older and the more experiences these men get, that vagina don't control them no more. Your mouth does. How you make him feel with it. And if a woman don't understand that a man can't control his hands, he's a weak man. A woman that can't control her mouth, she's a weak woman. And understand a woman is more likely to get a higher value man who knows how to speak to his soul, who knows how to inspire him, who knows how to make sure that, you know, how to be the piece to, he already has a war going on every time he steps out the door. Because he's a high earner. We talking about high earners. If we talking about anything over 100,000, only 8% of black men make that kind of money. And the lowest with women. So reality is there's not a lot of money that people talk about. Social media got everyone fooled. Most people don't have money. And if a person makes 100,000, they don't make 100,000. They're taxed at 100,000. So guess what? If you're not making about 140 to 150,000, you don't make $100,000. You're taxed at 100. You bring out 68 to $70,000 home a year. So I make six. No, you are taxed at 6 figures. They got to stop saying it's garbage because it sounds good. You're taxed at 6 figures. You don't make
Listen.
6 figures.
At 40, I don't want nobody unless he's like 50 and up. I swear to God. Other day, I went to the Mile to visit my friend. She was bartending. I'm walking to my car with my friend. And there's a group of guys, and they run to the car. Guy grabs my hand. He was like, yo, I just want to eat you off the bone. I was like, what is going on? So, you know, the valet, I'm like, okay, whatever. He was like, yo, I could eat peace standing up right now, show you what I could do, get out the car. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, the dating world scares me because I'm like, is
Very
this
much
how
so.
men are coming? He was 28. He was 28, but he scared me. The way he said it, I was like backing in my car, like, yo, are you okay? My friend is like, yo, back up, like back up off her. Now, mind you, I ain't nothing special. It ain't, to me, it's just, is this the caliber of men? Is this what we have out here now when we're going out looking for men as dates, as to court us?
Right.
Like, so wait a second. So my thing is, if I would have said to this man, oh, sure, show me what you could do. He was willing to do it. You met me. I've known you all but for 12 seconds.
You didn't see what they said in Houston the other day? They said when they went, they did what was it called again in Houston the other day? Spring break?
Lying for what?
They said in spring break, those people, them young people was talking about, if you don't leave with an STD, you didn't come here.
That's crazy.
The mentality of
That's
the
the
youth
world we live
is
in right
crazy.
now.
Yo, to them, like a man right now, the easiest thing for a guy to get that's any kind of motion is sex. Yo, getting a woman's vagina these days is a joke. It's a joke. That's why grown men don't value it, because it's so easy. The hardest thing to get is either her heart or her mind. And that's how you can lead her. I can't lead you with your vagina. That's nothing. I don't care about you gave it to other people before me, so that's not the value. But if you give me the belief in following me, I take that more valuable than the sex. I don't care about that. That's nothing. Because when a man ain't where he want to be, he don't even want sex. Little boys chase sex because it's a dopamine rush for them in their bad situations. When a man is not doing well, he overly chase sex because of the fact that he's not happy with his life. But when a man has his life together, we don't chase sex. Believe you me, Steph, I'm not the most handsome guy on earth, but I can get women without a problem. It's easy. But again, I choose not to because I have a level of discernment and respect for myself. But just because it's there don't mean I need to eat it. It's like, it's crazy. That's like going to the buffet and putting too much food on your plate. You already have some food on your plate. Why do you need more and more and more and more? You're just greedy. You're greedy. You have people now, men and women nowadays, they have, it's called a list, right? It's called a list where they have people that do, you have people that save, the girls be saving these numbers in their phone as for my meals, my phone bill guy.
Oh, yeah.
But they usually find weak, soft men that do that. Those are guys they wouldn't want to be with. They choose these guys because they're weak. She can't get a man of high value to do that. So she gonna choose these weak guys to do it because she knows and she don't want them. And the guy that she really wants, he ain't gotta do half of what those guys are doing to get the sex. He ain't gotta do a fraction of it. Not even a quarter of it. Steph, I said something the other day, right? I want you to tell me, is this true? I said to Shay, Shay, when a woman knows she wants a guy, let's say hypothetically I call you and I say, yo, what are you doing tonight? Oh, I'm not doing nothing. Well, it's Saturday night. I'm not doing nothing either. Can you meet me at Peter Luger's at the bar? I would like to you to have come spend some time with me. If a woman really wants you, she getting up and going. Would you agree?
Yeah.
I told her that. I said, if a woman says no to you, it's because she's more than likely not feeling you. Because I'm telling you, when a woman's feeling you, she will move a mountain to get to you. I know women that thug it out with their man.
I disagree with that.
Listen, I'm just saying, I know women that thug it out with their man, 20 years in prison, still with him. I don't know, she might get her itch scratched. You know, she's human. I'm not gonna sit there and say she don't get her itch scratched unless they're married and maybe she still can get conjugal visits. Right. But I'm just saying, if when a woman wants somebody, there is nothing she won't do to go get that. He ain't got to do a fraction of what she make the clowns do to get it.
Yeah.
She ain't got to do a fraction of it.
I agree with that.
He ain't got to, all he can say is a couple of words.
The one who likes you.
Yes.
There's a certain connection that you may have with somebody that'll make you do things that you wouldn't do with somebody else.
Agreed. Agree. But again, it's because of once you like somebody, you like somebody.
Yeah.
So when these girls be having these laundry lists of men and these guys be having these laundry lists of girls, it's the same way nowadays. The girl that is lit has her laundry list. The guy that is lit, he has his laundry list. So the same way you like, oh, the guy that most women want, he got a laundry list of girls. You might be 3, 4, 5, or 6. But again, you don't know because he's lit and most girls want him the same way you want him. It's like the most popular guy in high school.
Right.
It's the same thing in the real world. It's nothing changed. It's the same thing, right? So let me ask you a question, Shay.
Oh, God.
Why is it when a woman wants a man that has money, it's a preference? But why is it when a man wants a younger woman, it's because of control? Why do you think a lot of women say that? Because they're the older women? I'm just asking.
Yes and no. I do think for women, when we age, we do I don't want to say we age disgracefully because some of us age gracefully, but I feel like, yeah, there's some levels of, the word is not shame. The word is maybe insecurity that comes as we're getting older, where we know, like, okay, you're getting older now. Like, nobody wants to be told you're getting old and you're not valued. You know what I mean? I don't per se think we lose value. I agree with Steph in the sense of, like, I think I'm gaining value. I don't think I'm anywhere where I was. I would never want to go back to my 20s now that I'm here. I'll never go back to my 30s now that I'm here. Where I am now, financially, spiritually, mental, everything is way different than I was 10, 15, 20 years ago. So it's not per se you don't have the same choices of preference. I think it just hurts our feelings a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. It hurts our feelings.
Can I say something to you about that?
That's it. It hurts our
feelings. To you about that. Welcome to 90% of men's world. The man, we experience, not me, but a lot of men, they experience what y'all experience when y'all get older. They experience that at a younger age because they didn't have the car. Because they wasn't lit.
Yeah.
They wasn't the
So
man.
it's flipped.
So
Okay.
guess what? When they were younger, they were corny. They were cornballs. They were junk. They were trash. So now that they're older, they have a level of discernment because now they got their careers. They
Right.
got their life together. They're going to choose what they want. And more than likely what they're going to choose is something that is less touched and tampered with.
Okay.
Because of the fact that they have the choice now.
Yeah.
The same way when a woman is younger, she has that choice. So then the roles flip when the mans get older and we get our life together. So now, guess what? The ball's in our court. Now we're shamed because the ball is in our court. But when the ball was in your court and y'all was dissing those good guys, overlooking those guys, girl, he corny, he a cornball. But now you're old. It's the same thing. It's the same exact thing. But like I said, I don't be dissing, I just call it what it is. I just call it what it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't diss girls. I love my women, but I tell you, the women that get offended are the ones that's probably they hitting it like, yo, it's not working the way I want, and it's not going the way I want. But I always tell women, stop looking for this high value man because in most cases, high value men have certain rules and regulations to dating them. Just like if a guy knows that he's looking, if you dating Beyonce, you know it comes with certain rules.
Right.
It's just what it is. Like we call a spade a spade. But a guy told you, an average guy will take an average woman, but I do believe that average women think that they're worthy of more than average men. And that's a problem within itself. Because again, we told our daughters they're princesses. I'm not gonna raise my daughter delusional. I want my daughter to understand what a good man is, and you and him could build that future life that y'all want together. Because two people that have something can come together and build a lot.
But you're her first example of what a good man is.
100%, 100%.
So,
That's why I love how you talk about your father.
yeah.
I've never physically met him. I've seen 1,000 pictures of this man. I know I can see him in the mall and walk up to him like, stepfather, how you know? I'm like, I've seen you 100,000 times. I'm just saying, the way our daughters talk about our fathers says a lot. You know, and sometimes I will say this too, fathers that are good fathers, make sure you make your children, your daughters realistic also. Don't make her foolish. Don't make her delusional. The other day, this girl said to me the other day, I was doing a one-on-one with her, she said she want an NBA player. I said, just so you know, there's a total of 450 NBA players. Just so you know that. So that it's only 450 NBA
Right.
players. So that means you have to be substantially something completely different and stand out amongst the millions and millions and millions of women, right, to this guy. And more than likely, if you was at the University of Kentucky when he was there, you had a chance.
Right.
But now this guy in the NBA, he's definitely looking for what he probably couldn't get. Because a lot of them NBA players, when they was just hooping, they weren't the most popular guys. A lot of them be corny. They be getting lit when they get the money. So he gonna go after what he want. He gonna go after what he want. It's just what it is. I didn't create the rules, again, but I understand it. Some people that don't like the rules is because they want the rules to bend for them. I don't try to bend the rules. I understand it. If I'm broke as hell, in most cases, most women won't respect me. That's why I grind hard and work hard every day. Because I don't want to be. I don't want
You want the respect of a woman?
I want the woman to see me as a man, and as a man, you should be a provider. And understanding that you're not a provider, so therefore, guess what? I see why a woman don't see you as a man because you haven't reached the magnitude of maturity that says that. I don't think that most women are gold diggers. I think more women are stability diggers. I think more women need stability to make them have a level of comfort. So I don't think every woman is a gold digger, but I do believe that we're creating more gold diggers today than ever. I do believe in my generation it was less, but I believe in this nuance of generation, 30 and under, it's way more gold diggers than ever. And it's way more bum dudes. My generation, we started it. The generation before mine was a lot harder working men.
Yeah.
My generation was mid,
Yeah.
and now it's even, they want to work even less in this generation. It's only getting worse. I got dudes that whine like it's disgusting. They whine about everything. Yo, everything in their life is like the worst thing on earth. I'm like, you need a hug. You need a hug. They're like so feminine.
Yeah.
They whine.
I don't like it.
My life is so hard.
I don't like it, guys.
My life.
For the men that are like that, I'm just saying, like, I think, but those kind of men will appeal to a certain kind of woman, right, Steph? Like, I feel like for me, I, it's just, bro, no, please stop. So sorry.
It's what it is. It's like, you know, I'm dealing with a family member. I think I told you the story, Steph. She's a professional. She's a lawyer. I told her I was gonna say it on the podcast, so get mad. But I told her she's a. If I had to rate her, not being my family, just looking at her, I give her a 5 on a regular day, 6, 7 on a dolled up. Average. She's an average looking woman. Yes, she has a career. Yes, she makes good money, but she has a mouth of a sailor. Right, her mouth is disgusting. She thinks that she can challenge men and what a man's supposed to do, and she knows what it takes to be a man because I don't know where she got that from, right? But again, and even with me, she tells me all the time, like, I feel like you're the strongest man I know, but you don't even listen to me. So what the hell is, I would hate to see the man you gotta meet. If you're telling me I'm the strongest man you know, then you gotta date Jesus. Because you just told me that. I didn't make her say that. So I tell her all the time, I'm like, you're combative with someone that you say is this. So what are you gonna do when, it's disgusting. But anyway, she goes on dates. She doesn't respect men. She don't respect men, but her mom taught her not how to respect men. She see a man as whatever he can do for her only. That's all she sees. And if a man, and what she loves to throw around is what? I got a degree. And I'm gonna just say this to my ladies on this podcast right now. If you always lead with your resources, you're more inclined to find a man that needs you than a man that wants you.
That's true.
Just so you know that. So keep leading with your degrees. Keep leading with how much money you got. I don't need a man. Keep leading with that. You're gonna find someone that need you. Look at that statement. I don't need a man. That's why you need me, because I want to live for you. You're telling the man you don't need him. So guess what? The man you're gonna meet is going to need you. So keep doing it. It's gonna continue to be this pattern. Oh, I need men to I'm like, because of you. You don't understand. Calm yourself down. Humble yourself. If you build yourself up, wasn't those things for you? Or was it to brag and gloat against a man? Did you get your credentials because you want to challenge a man? What did you get it for? I didn't buy a house because I wanted to brag to women. I bought a house so I could put my family in it. I don't understand. What are we doing here? But again, the same way a man, when he gloats about his finances, more than likely the girl that's going to come to me is going to need me. She's not going to be, in most cases, the same level as me financially, especially when you're leading with provision. I'm just calling spade a spade.
Okay.
What you got? Steph, what's on you?
Agreed with that.
It's on me? Oh. Mm-hmm. Well, we were having this conversation in the shop. We were having this conversation with your client in the shop. Mm-hmm. Had the young lady, they've been married and their whole circumstances. And,
yes.
You know, he took her from her mother's house, her parents' house, and he spoiled her. Yep. So when you take a woman from her parents' house and you've been taking care of her this whole time, and now you expect something different,
yep.
You're not going to get that because she's already conditioned to for you doing everything. So her complaining, you know, all of this stuff, that's the monster that you created.
She did.
So it's like, what do you want? Now do you want to stay with this person? You looking to leave? I told him to stick it out because that's the monster you created. I don't think it's worth leaving or breaking up a family because you spoiled us from day one. That's what you wanted. So I didn't really understand why he was bitching and moaning. This is what you wanted. She got housekeeper, she got all this stuff. You set her up like that.
Yep.
So you can't pull that away now and say, go mop the floor. No, it's not gonna happen.
You see what I said? I was looking for a woman that had her own house. Mm-hmm. I had my own homes. I wanted a woman that had certain understanding of life because I can't teach an old dog new tricks. Like, you are what you are. So I said to myself, I want to make sure you have certain levels of experience. I like to date. If I go date on again, I would date a woman that traveled. She's experienced different cultures. I don't want a girl that's been in Brooklyn her whole life.
Right.
because that's all they know. I don't want a girl that only knows Atlanta. Like, and to her, going away is from Atlanta to Florida. I don't want to date somebody like that. They're not experienced. I'm like, you haven't even been on a 3-hour flight. You know what I'm saying? I don't want out the country. You know, you don't need a passport. I just wouldn't date that because they just lack certain experiences.
Yeah.
So you just you're teaching someone something they should already experienced.
And that goes again to just, finding someone that's equally yoked. Like,
100%.
you gotta really, when you out there dating and you're out there trying to find a mate, it's important to know their background. It's important to know their friend circle. It's important to know how they were raised. Those are, because those are the first red flags you're gonna see when you really start to have real conversation with someone.
100%. Listen, the beautiful thing is when I look at my woman, she's submissive, she makes great money. I do better than her, but in the same breath, she don't care about being a man. There's never a competition. Y'all know my woman. My woman don't want to be a man at all. She's comfortable being a feminine woman, and she's still strong. I'll give you a story one time. So I told you we was in a Herbalife store one time getting shakes. The lady said to my girl, because Q got her in check, that's why she don't talk like that. And my girl said, I said, you should tell him something, say something. She said, you know what, I am. She said, the reason why I don't get in y'all miserable conversations is because I don't live like that. My man provides, he pays for this, he pays for that. My man takes good care of me. And I make my own money and I can provide for myself. But he enhances my life and make my life even better. I'm a grown woman, I should be able to carry my own weight. She said, this is just what it is. I don't think a man should buy me a Benz. I should be able to have my own Mercedes, if that's what I want. She said, but again, y'all go through this misery and y'all want everyone to have, she said, the one thing I don't like about a lot of women, and then she said it right in front of them, y'all have this, who going through the worst, like competition. Who's going through the worst? They sit there and be like, my man don't do it. It's like a competition all the time with them. I'm like, yo, this is disgusting. And my girl said, I don't go through that. Why would I lie to y'all to make me sound like I'm in y'all situation, but I'm not? She said, I pray that y'all figure out your situations, but I figured out mine. And if you want me to have a miserable conversation with y'all, I can't relate.
But then you got to look at the woman who asked that question, who said that,
Miserable.
who made that statement.
Miserable. She going through her situation now. So she gets mad at the fact that she's not finding what she's looking for. Because I tell you, it's not that she can't find a man, it's that she's overvaluing herself and think that these kind of guys want her. I tell you, Steph, 90% of women are in line for the same 10% of men. They all want the same guy. And you know how you know it from, it's the same thing as high school. They want that super one popular guy. That guy gets all the attention. No one looks at the dweeb and the nerd.
Right.
Most girls don't look at them.
Who's going to become a billionaire.
Yes. I just call it what it is. They're in competition with each other. Man don't care about your Louis bag and your Gucci. He don't care about that stuff. He care about is you loyal? Are you honest? Are you respectful? Do you bring peace? Do you help me? I got the house. Do you make it a home? That's what men look for. You don't care about all that. You know what I'm saying? You go to most cases, if you look at it, just looking on social media, y'all guys, bro, would y'all agree? Most aesthetically pleasing, like extremely pleasing, they're not even married. The ones that are they're not even married. And they be giving advice. People listen to Cardi. Cardi can't even keep a man. Megan Thee Stallion can't keep a man. Like, these are our influences as women? They can't even keep, where's Michelle Obama at?
Yeah, but you say that, Q, and I feel like at the same time, you have a lot of men, and it's okay. Again, it's okay to have your preference. I am a damn near 5'8", dark-skinned woman, whatever. I don't go around, for me, if I want a man, the only thing that would make me weird about dating a man that's my height or shorter is like, damn, if I put on heels, am I gonna look weird next to him? Like, it's not really about him.
Right.
Like, I could look at a man and he's shorter and I'm like, damn, I like him. But I'm like, put on heels next to him, am I gonna look weird? You have these men that their preferences, and I've seen it on this before where it said dark skin. We had a episode where this guy like did a whole reaction to it, and it was like the dark. And I don't have a problem with that. There's nothing. I've never felt any way about being dark skinned. Let's talk about that. I don't care. I love being black. You will never see me wanting to be anything else. But I feel like,
Somebody say you sleep in heels?
do I sleep in heels?
I like that. You know what I mean by that?
No, I don't get it. What does that mean?
You ain't tall in the bed.
Oh,
That's what I'm trying to say.
that's funny. Oh, that's cute. But my point is, I've never had a preference of a man's physicality. I've never really been someone that said I needed a man to be. He needs to be 6'5". He needs to be, brick hard. He needs to be this. I feel like sometimes men will come with that, and a lot of times you'll have certain women, especially now dark-skinned women, where we start to feel like it's a problem with us. Where a man is like, oh, I prefer her to be this, that. And I think sometimes that goes for, I guess it's a colorism thing, where that's when I start to get offended, where I'm like, you a black man putting on another black woman.
Right.
That sounds crazy to me. Yeah. And then wonder why we date outside of our race. Then wonder why, if it's a white man that comes over here and appreciates us for what we is, but you just said that you prefer your woman to be light-skinned, this, that, and I'm not that for you, so let me go over here and be that for somebody else. It's okay,
But that short king, that man that's not super rich, when they go outside their race and get the respect from the white woman, it's the same thing. Right? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. The same way that black man that don't see that dark-skinned woman is valuable is the same thing that woman that saw that nerd as a nerd and he said he went around the white girls and they saw him valuable.
You hold on. Time,
You agree with
first
that
of all, I would never, let me tell you something. When it comes to, I'm talking about me. I can't talk about every woman. I would never sit here and look at somebody because of their physicality. I've dated, my baby daddy was 300 pounds when I met him. I done dated a guy that was shorter than me. I've never looked, for me, it's character, but that's me. I can't talk about everybody else. For me, it's character. I would never look at someone, because you can look at physicality and then we have nothing in common. We're not compatible. Now I'm sitting here and I'm like, you know what? I choose a guy that's 6 foot this, he got all the money, and I'm sitting there talking to him. And I'm like, damn, he looks good to look at. And he's talking about all his money, but I don't have anything in common with him. And that's whack. So for me, I don't go off of that. Like I said, you could be one-legged, one arm. If I'm really feeling you, then this is my man.
You want to hear something funny? When you look at a lot of people, right, and they have like relationships, right? Mm-hmm. Relationships are like going to jail. Every time you fail, that means you failed. So every time you fail a relationship, that means you just have bad choices. The number one successful relationships are arranged marriages, because arranged marriages is people that learn how to love and appreciate each other. They last 10 times longer than people choosing their own mates, which is crazy. If you think about that, God lets you go choose your mate and most people still fail, but yet still arranged marriages last 10 times longer than people choosing their own mates. That's a goddamn shame.
Yeah, that is.
That's a goddamn shame. That means most people are looking at surface level things opposed to the heart of the person. And when they do arranged marriages, you know what they do? They take people that come from certain aesthetically pleasing backgrounds that match them. That's why your family's this way, my family's this way, because there's someone always holding them to accountable. You see what I'm saying? When you have a relationship and no one holding each other accountable, do whatever you want. That's why people fail. Look at the Indians.
Hey, Biggs.
They stay married for 1,000 years. Because again, it's their culture. Our culture is run.
Yeah, but arranged marriage is crazy though. To not know somebody and you're told this is a person you're gonna marry and you have to grow to love them. I don't know. There's something about falling in love that just feels so amazing.
Yeah.
Organic. Maybe it's something about falling in love that feels so amazing, where it's like the little things like, damn, I love when he scratches his butt in the morning and you knew that before. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to have to. I'm just saying.
No, but if most people when they're not ready to, they haven't fixed themselves, they're gonna date their trauma.
My husband's family his parents had an arranged marriage. And I just thought that was a little different. And you know what? I'll never forget what his mother said to me years ago. She said, I wish I had the opportunity to fall in love. And I looked at that as like, damn, okay. Right. But she was like, I wish I had the opportunity to fall in love, because she never had the opportunity to fall in love. She was just told, this is who you're going to be with, this is who you're going to marry, and that's just that.
But over here, I think most people's idea of falling in love is movie-based. It's not real.
Yes,
because love is an option of choice.
It's the fairy tale.
Yep, you have to choose every day to love someone. So reality is, we think that when a person walks in a room, butterflies light the room, and then you run slowly down the beach holding hands, and you love this man every day. That's
no, yeah, that sounds crazy.
That's not reality.
That's Disney. Most people believe that the Disney story, the ending. Men, we watch fighting in Ninja Turtles. Y'all watch Cinderella and these stories where he came and put the glass slipper on her shoe, and she got into a pumpkin, and she had to go back to where she was being tortured, and it's all fake.
Oh, she's being tortured.
It's all fake. But again, they take it as real. The Notebook is one of their favorite movies, right? They love The Notebook. It's not real. It's not real because a lot of times the women that want the notebook, they aren't the character of the woman that's in the notebook.
Right.
You want the notebook and you're not even like her. She's calm, respectful, nice, reserved. You're none of the above. And then you say that it's just foolishness that what people want. And then you say it's like, oh, you're dissing women. No, I'm not dissing women. We got to understand, like, we got to get back to reality. Social media is killing people. I'll give you a story. So one of my boys, before we get out of here today, he did, you know the bouquet of $100 bills? He did a bouquet of $100 bills. He said, Q, I'm going to show you how ignorant social media is. He walked in the room on Valentine's Day, gave her the bouquet of $100 bills. She opened a chocolate. It was a bunch of money in it. All the women in the comments like, that's the guy, that's a real man, that's a real, you should see, it's disgusting. He called me afterwards and said, me and her did this because we knew we was gonna get mad likes, comments, and reshares. He said, we this ain't real. He said, Q, I said, I already know. I said, because you are the person that's not the fly on the wall in their house, seeing the realities of what's going on in their house. Because reality is most people are good at pretending that their situation is a lot better. Black people master the art of the illusion. We're good at it. Because you can tell most black people act like they're rich when they broke as hell. Like, you see it, we all know it. So they act like they better. And like I told you, most women in relationships, they're in competition with their friends. So if most girls will lie, my man do this and my man, you got girls that buy their own ring, Steph, and swear they man bought it. Buy their own ring. And how you thinking that, and she bought her own goddamn ring. Look, I do a lot of one-on-ones. It's crazy the things you hear. He made me buy my own ring. I'm like, damn. But again, online, they look like the best couple.
Yeah.
Because
It's
they
an
post
illusion.
vacation pictures. Everybody happy on vacation. I'm like, yeah, everybody happy when they out to eat. It's like, crazy. If you fight on vacation, you are diabolical. You are diabolical.
That is
Like I said, but most people,
diabolical.
what they wouldn't do, they create that to be the standard. That's why we lose. God, stop making you the standard. Most people are not happy in life with themselves, so they can't be happy with somebody else.
That's very true.
I'm saying?
That's very true.
If you got anything you want to say before we get out of here today?
Well, I just think that we need to have more dialogue, you know, as a community, you know, especially when it comes to the age gap. You know, I'm older than you and I can always give you advice
100%.
because I've been through something, and you know, you can always give my son advice because you're older than him.
Agreed.
You know, and that's what I see in the barbershop. Well, somebody said, you going to the barbershop? I'm like, is it a barbershop now?
hear
It's a
that
beauty
too.
salon
I hear
/
it. I
barbershop
hear it.
now.
I hear it.
You know, it's crazy,
And
but
it's dope, though.
It is. It really is, because the conversations that come out of there are so important.
I've been looking forward when you get back.
Yeah.
I can't wait till she get back. I swear. Don't I tell you that all the time?
Conversations are great.
I done said your name on this podcast at least 5 times. I'm like, I love when she get back because you give the female balance. When you come in the shop, you give that balance where we can have a healthy conversation between men and women, and it's not like it's someone being attacked.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even know you.
It's important to listen. And that's a quality that a lot of people don't have, listening. And that's really what a lot of people need to do. Just listen. You don't have to always have an opinion.
Yes.
But you can listen.
Yep. Tell them where they can find you at.
Oh, they can find me at Studio 1031, 1941 Grand Avenue,
What's your Instagram?
at Studio 1031 _ or MS, Miss Studio 1031.
Mr. 1031.
1031.
Okay.
Miss _ Studio 1031.
Okay. What you want to say before we got here today?
That's it, guys. Ladies, let's just take our men for what we see, not for what we have the potential for them to be. Everyone's situation is to them, you know, and let's just love. That's it.
Amen.
I would say this before we get out of here today. Dope topic. What I love is balance, guys. I want my men and women to understand that if the women are saying certain things about you, stop taking that like as an attack. Ladies, if the men are saying certain things about you, stop taking it like it's an attack. You can't grow where there's not maturity to learn. And anytime someone tells you something, just because it don't align with what you think, listen entirely to hear and stop listening to respond. You can read by the comments how many people just listen to respond because they feel like they're under attack. And this is why most people don't grow, they don't learn, because again, they're not mature enough to hear these kind of conversations. Some people, in their mind, they've created certain situations are waiting for them, whether male or female. But But in reality, the healthiest relationships is two people that come together and build that healthy relationship. Every strong relationship that I've ever met, they've been through some of the strongest storms on earth, and they weathered those storms. But you want people to be on paradise with their partner, but they don't want to go through nothing though, which is crazy. So again, ladies and gentlemen, you want to build something healthy, learn how to work on yourselves and understand that the healthiest relationships is two people that's willing to build a great relationship. Till next time, guys, don't let that go over your head.